Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Director Watch, an Awards Watch podcast that attempts to get inside the mind of cinema's greatest auteurs, explore what drives them, and maybe we go on a few unrelated tangents along the way. I'm your executive editor, Ryan McQuade, here at Awards Watch, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, who I'm switching houses with right now, Jay Ledbetter.
Ryan, we talk about just in general, just the world talks about how important it is to felt seen on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why I'm so happy we're talking about the holiday, because I too am daddy.
God damn it. Not even 5 seconds into this show, and you're saying something as stupid as that. But you are technically...
Am I wrong? Yeah.
Of the two of us, and of the three
Where's
of us technically today, you are the dad. I'm not gonna say that.
I am,
because
daddy.
that gives you way too much power. And
some people called me the Jude Law of this podcast.
You are
some people named Jay Ledbetter.
Well, I mean, you are kind of pale like him.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
My lighting is always tough.
Though he's not pale in this movie.
No, certainly not. No,
this is
he's hitting up those countryside tanning beds.
I think we should. Yeah, I want to talk about that right up at the front. Actually, it's a good time to talk about it because our guest on the last show, Sophia Simonello, all of our friend, she was saying the one thing you have to bring up is Jude Law's tan in this movie because it doesn't make any sense why he has a Southern California tan and they're in the middle of this very small English cottage town, and
in the middle of winter.
And I did notice it this time. The tan does fluctuate within the film. Like in the first half of the film, he's very, very tan. And then when she's like coming back to him and like, I want to be with you forever and let's spend New Year's together, he doesn't have that tan anymore.
Nancy Meyers continuity fraud.
I'm telling you, come on, Nancy. Like either spray him up or spray him down. What are you doing to Jude?
Tan and no tan, looking amazing.
Look, I mean, he's always amazing. He's a snack and a half, man.
Yeah,
it's Jude Law. But we're not alone today, Jay. I think we're gonna like swap houses, apartments, and you're gonna go to mine, and then I'm gonna go to the guest, and the guest is gonna come to mine, and then we'll all switch. We're gonna do it 3 times because we're joined today by our good friend Karen Peterson. Karen, welcome back to this chaotic, crazy show that we call Director Watch.
I am so confused about what's happening right now, and I love it.
It's our holiday episode. Literally.
That's kind of how I feel watching the holiday. So we're off to a great start.
We're releasing this the week of Christmas. It is our holiday episode. Literally, the holiday is the episode. I kind of like that it's meta that way. It worked out perfectly. I do say so myself.
Probably get more listens. That's all I care about.
I'm saying, everybody's like around the fire. They just opened up all their gifts, and you know what? They just got the best gift of all, which is a Director Watch.
Some people listen to Michael Bublé while they're opening presents. Others listen to our episode of the holiday.
What do you got? Wait, that's a good question. What do you guys listen to Christmas music wise when you open your gifts? Do you guys put on any music? Is it like old time stuff? Is it like a new album? Like, what do you guys do?
Generally, I default to Charlie Brown Christmas.
Charlie Brown. Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, love that music. It's great
Karen?
stuff.
Christmas presents? Who gets those still?
Come on. Oh, Karen, you get presents. Come on.
You're being a real Paul Giamatti in The Leftovers here.
Yeah.
I mean, that tracks right now. This year, I feel very Paul Giamatti in The Holdovers.
Or holdovers,
the leftovers.
The Leftovers is an even more dire Christmas season.
Imagine The Leftovers. Your Christmas wish is snapping 2% of the population off of the map. Actually, to be fair, some of us would want to get rid of a lot of people off this planet.
I have some nominees.
Yeah, I think we have a naughty list. If you were, but do you listen to like when you usually do gift opening, Karen? What's the kind of music you like to listen to?
I think my mom, because usually when we do gifts, it's at my mom's house, and I think she usually plays like standards, the Bing Crosby and that's
classics.
Elvis,
a little White Christmas up in there.
Yeah, exactly.
So Megan and I have 2 albums that we play. We because we're Texan, we play Willie Nelson's Christmas album.
Robin Thicke, Blurred Lines.
No. And then we always have a yearly challenge with my family here to see how long we can play the Bob Dylan Christmas album before my father yells, "Can you turn that shit off? It's Christmas."
Well, this is the best year to do it.
Yeah.
What's the record? How far have you gotten?
We flipped the record last year before he noticed. So we were so close to Christmas Island because that is one of, I don't know. Jay, have you ever listened to it?
I don't know anything about this.
Karen,
I'm
have
not
you ever
a
listened
Dylan
to
head.
it?
I have heard it, yes.
It is one of the worst albums, but you got to listen to it because it's so funny. And then like the comment sections on Amazon and iTunes make it funny. It's an experience. It's a ride.
You gotta hear it once, and then
maybe
it's
I'll
fine
check
if
it
you
out.
never listen again.
It's fine, but we just like it as a good fun yearly tradition now. Just like how long can we also get through it as well? And
It does sound fun.
Yeah.
I like a nice melancholy present opening with old Charlie Brown.
Yeah. So like when you don't get what you want, it's dun 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, and you like, kind of
It's
like
getting
Arrested
the
Development.
football pulled out from you.
Oh, another pair of socks. You know what I mean? And then a cue like the
Now you're
Arrested
talking
Development.
to Charlie Brown Halloween when he gets a rock all the time.
Yeah, he does get a rock. I got a rock. I always like the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving one too. That was good too. Charlie Brown.
You can have that one.
I like them all. They're great. Charlie Brown, never bad. Unpopular opinion. Yeah. Thank you, Karen.
And he's good.
Right?
I actually even kind of liked that CGI, the
the new one that came out like a couple
Peanuts.
years ago? The Peanuts movie? Yeah, that was pretty good.
It's all right.
Yeah. Again, never a bad time when you're with
I agree.
the Peanuts game. We actually have like this like thing and it's like a Christmas setup, and you connect them all together. It's battery operated, and you press them, and like the little figurines, they dance, and it's it's not the Muppets, it's the Peanut characters, and they sing and dance, and it's Christmas music, and it's really cool.
It's kind of like in Robert Zemeckis's Pinocchio when all the cuckoo clocks have characters come out of them.
Yes, that's what I was going for. Is Robert Zemeckis.
Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Remember that film? Might be one of the worst things that's come out in recent years.
Probably one of the worst films of the decade so far.
Can I tell you though, when you're watching it at the Disney lot and sitting like 4 seats away from Tom Hanks, listening to him laugh through the movie, it's kind of hard to enjoy it.
That was not my circumstance watching the film. So I didn't. You might be right. That might totally take you over.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe somebody had that
I
experience.
was at the house. I was at Tom's house. I watched it with Chet. It was crazy.
Not as big a fan.
Rita played music for us afterwards. It was very nice. It was a wild night. Yeah. They typed me a letter and told me, get the hell out of here. It was great. Christmas with the Hanks. They should totally make that movie.
It's like Christmas with the great friend. That's good.
I know, right? See, we're giving away too many ideas for movies on these shows.
He knocked out some really bad jokes before the app started. So
yeah, I really did. I'm sorry, guys.
He had a bullpen session, and now he's really throwing 100 miles an hour here.
Listen, just pull up a glass of eggnog and enjoy this episode of The Holiday. But before we do talk about Nancy Meyers' film The Holiday, Karen, gotta ask you your thoughts on Nancy Meyers as a whole. What you like about her, what you maybe don't like about her, and then we'll talk about The Holiday. But yeah, what do you think of Nancy?
I love everything about Nancy. I want to be friends with Nancy.
She seems like a really cool person.
She does. I was at TCM this past April, and she did an introduction Q&A with I think it was with Alicia Malone from TCM, and they were talking about the new restoration of North by Northwest, and I was just like, okay, I love Nancy Meyers. I love North by Northwest. I don't understand why Nancy Meyers is the one here talking about this movie, but I'll go with it. It was so much fun. And she basically was just talking because she's so in love with Cary Grant, which aren't we all? And so that was basically the entire conversation was just about how perfect and charming Cary Grant was.
That
And
seems
it
like the
just made me
perfect
love Nancy Meyers even more. So.
seems like the perfect person that she would have wanted to write a movie for too, was Cary Grant.
Mhm,
Right?
mhm.
Oh my God.
We
Yeah.
weirdly talked about Cary Grant a lot in our Something's Got to Give episode.
Yeah.
I think
Movie
that
stars.
I think his essence just permeates her work,
Yeah. And then
and
also
I'm here for it.
well, and then also too, like I mean, like he could go. He's kind of like a little bit like what you get out of Nicholson when why she wants to cast him in a film like that. It's like he can slip into dramatic, but he's got excellent comedic timing and his comedic decision making. That's why Cary Grant's one of the best. To
He's a
ever do it.
freaking movie star. I mean,
He's a movie star, man. And plus,
Mhm.
he's good looking. You know,
Who? Cary
There.
Grant?
Cary Grant. Yeah, Cary Grant, pretty good looking. Jay,
All right. Okay. If
sorry,
that's what you're into.
I'm saying. You know, I could be getting to a lot worse. I
If you're into
for
an
God's
incredibly
sakes.
handsome, charming man, I
Man,
guess.
I guess so. You know what I mean? But yeah, no. And so is this your Karen, is this your favorite Nancy?
Yes, I would say that it is.
Oh, so we did get you on for your favorite Nancy. All right.
Nice. Love when
okay.
that happens.
Yeah.
Do you guys are you is this one of your in your holiday rotation then?
Yes,
well?
it is. It's funny that you ask that because I was looking at when I went because I watched it again this week to prepare and
Yeah.
when I logged it in Letterboxd, I looked at, my previous activity with the movie and apparently I have watched it every December for the last 5 years. So
Hell yeah.
so
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
it is in my regular rotation.
What do you Karen usually have in your rotation for holiday movies? Christmas movies.
Pretty big range. I love Elf. I love It's a Wonderful Life. I haven't watched Home Alone in a while, but I keep thinking like, oh, I need to go back to that. And then of course I do Gremlins and Die Hard and movies like that too,
Gremlins.
because
Come on now. We love a
Gremlins
gremlin.
is the best Christmas movies. Yeah, so I have a pretty healthy mix, I think.
Did Elf kill like is it like the last good Christmas movie that we've had? Like great, like
Surely
classic.
that's not true.
I
Like,
would say yes until last night when I saw Nosferatu.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
A very
Um,
Orlock Christmas.
Yeah. I want to
Elf?
have a Merry Christmas.
I guess Elf is the last canonical Christmas movie.
Well, I know that some people they
Hot
They watch-
Frosty.
yes, I know some people they watch like they watch what's the one with Sarah Jessica Parker, Rachel McAdams, The Family Stone is one
Family
that
Stone, yeah.
some people watch.
I would say The Holiday too, because that
Yeah.
came after Elf. So
yeah,
True.
So,
yes.
true.
So this
Very-
is probably the last
This
one.
is one of those. Yeah, that's right around in that sort of realm. But I'm talking like 2010s on. Like it doesn't seem like I mean, like what was that one that was on Hulu? Hey, Kristen Stewart.
Happiest
yes,
Season.
Happiest Season?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was cute.
That was cute. That was good, right? Like it would.
I'm
you
kind
know.
of a sucker for the Kurt Russell Santa movie, Christmas
Oh.
Chronicles.
Christmas
you-
Chronicles, yeah.
You like the
Hot
first
They
one,
made
Santa.
a
huh?
sequel to that one.
Yeah, that one was tough, but the first one's fun.
I didn't like this. Well, I didn't love the first one either.
Yeah, the first
but
one's
I thought
not,
it was
like,
it was
good,
entertaining.
but
The
it's-
second
yeah.
one, I was just like, why am I still watching this?
Fincher's-
There's kind of a novelty to Kurt Russell Santa in the first one that they, dries up by the time the second one comes around.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
Mhm.
and Fincher's girl with the dragon tattoo.
Candy Cane Lane last year. Oh my God. That
Karen's
was
like,
tough.
"Shut up, Ryan." She looked right at me and said, "Shut up."
I did not.
I mean, it was a great marketing campaign.
No, that was the feel bad movie of the holidays. That was
yeah.
how marketing used to be great. Now it's not
good.
anymore. You know what I mean? But I think like Jay, what do you usually watch?
Elf for sure. My wife loves Elf. It's a Wonderful Life always.
I've come around
That's
on
just
it. I
number
love that
one.
movie now.
The dirty little secret about Christmas movies is, to your point, there's not that many good ones.
No, there's not.
There are a lot of them. Although, you know what was kind of, I'm not going to sit here and say it deserves to be canonized. Spirited, the Will Ferrell Ryan Reynolds movie.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that was fun.
I was charmed by that movie.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about the horse movie.
that's just Spirit.
Stallion of the Cimarron.
The
No?
Spirit of the Cimarron.
Spirit of the Stallion of the Cimarron. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or no, Spirit.
it's Spirit.
Stallion.
Because
of
Spirit is the
Stallion.
horse's
Cimarron.
name.
Yeah,
Yes,
remember
and then Cimarron is the yes. Okay, got it.
Remember,
Spirit,
Jay, you
Stallion
can-
of the Cimarron.
Remember, Jay, you can take the title and do it however way you
Mm.
want. You could do Cimarron, the Spirit of the Stallion. You know what I mean? You can do Stallion, the Spirit of the Cimarron.
That's the one where they don't talk, right? It's all internal
Yeah,
monologue
exactly.
from Matt Damon.
Matt Damon's the
Horse.
horsey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, because he was doing that and all the pretty horses at the same time. Like he was in a big.
Oh, Kiss
gonna
Kiss
be a
Bang
good one.
Bang. That's one.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
one.
That's a great one.
Lethal Weapon, does that count, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
Christmas
Shane
tree.
Black movie, so it's
Yeah,
Christmas
I was gonna
adjacent,
say
at
anything that
least.
Shane Black does.
While you were sleeping.
Is the Nice Guys? Is the Nice Guys is around? No, it's not around Christmas.
Nice
by
Guys.
the end.
Are you
by
talking
the
about?
end-
Oh no! Yeah. The Nice Guys. Yes.
Yeah.
But
very
here's
end
the
is
real
Christmas.
question. What about Nightmare Before Christmas? Is that a Halloween
Oh,
movie or a
this
Christmas
is the
I
movie?
just had this
debate.
debate.
This is the debate.
I
Jay?
am of the opinion that honestly, it can be either.
Yeah.
I think it's both.
Listen,
I think so, too.
life's too rough right now. I'm not gonna tell you whether it's not or anymore. It's just like the jerks that don't want to say Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. It's like, come on, guys, it's a Christmas movie.
Well, look, I was on a Disney cruise
Did they play Die Hard?
within the last couple months during Halloween, and they played Nightmare Before Christmas there. So certainly a Halloween movie in the eyes of the Walt Disney Corporation.
Well, of course they're going to do that.
They're the
Jay,
ultimate
then.
arbiters, right? But I also say that Christmas is in the title, so it can also be a Christmas film.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say
It's the titular holiday.
It's the titular holiday. Exactly. Karen.
I will watch It's a Wonderful Life by myself. My wife doesn't like to watch it. It makes her too sad. And
Ryan, you didn't. That's one you didn't used to like.
No, I didn't used to like it because I had when I was a kid, I was like, oh, that's the sad, that's the serious sad movie you're supposed to watch. And then a couple of years ago, I watched it and it just broke me. And it's a beautiful movie and I watch it all the time. I think it's one of the best movies ever made. And then I'll watch Elf because Elf's great. And then I'll watch the original Grinch. The original
cartoon, of
the
course.
cartoon.
60,
Yes.
The Benedict Cumberbatch one.
I don't no, not
I
the
consider
Benedict.
that to be the original.
Is that your canon? Shut up, dude. That is the highest grossing Christmas movie of all time, though.
Is that true?
Yeah, because I did
Those
trivia in my office today, and that was the sad truth. But I know before that,
studio knows how to make money, man.
they do that Illumination. right?
Illumination. They know what they're doing.
But they also, I mean, my wife was trying to get me to watch the Jim Carrey one, and I don't want to do it.
That
I
movie
actually enjoy that one.
stinks. I hate that
I
movie.
like it.
Like I like Carrey as the Grinch, but just all the other fluff. I'm like,
No, see,
don't-
I have a bit of a Carrey aversion.
Oh, you like? Oh, you were a Will.
Interestingly.
You were a
Yeah.
Farrell guy, not a Carrey guy.
I'm a big
It
Farrell
can
guy.
be both. I like both.
No, I like both. I'm just saying that's what he is.
I like Carrey, dramatic actor.
Oh, okay. So you like the number 23.
Yeah, exactly. Big number 23 guy. That's my
Yeah.
Christmas movie.
There you go.
Wish it was called number 25.
Oh my God, I hate you so much. I knew you were going there.
December 25th.
But yes, we understand what dates are. Jay, you didn't have to explain.
He's also in one of the worst Christmas movies. Zemeckis bringing him up again. Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol. Well,
That's my least favorite Zemeckis movie, which is saying a lot.
Well, there is, man, he's being brought up a lot today. The best Christmas Carol is, of course, the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh yeah, just watch that one.
It's Mickey's Christmas Carol. Sorry.
Oh, is it
I mean,
Mickey's?
that one's good too.
That's pretty
Just watch
good
that
too.
one.
They're all really good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Did you ever watch
Muppets are great too. Yeah,
the Muppets? Well, you can't go wrong with the Muppets either. They're never bad, right?
that's true.
Love
Yeah,
the Muppets.
Muppets and Peanuts. Yeah,
I also love the bishop's wife and the preacher's wife.
yeah.
Those are
Well,
both great.
I like
I like the original Miracle on 34th Street a lot.
yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah,
I like watch.
baby Natalie Wood.
I like watching all the television ones though. I like Frosty and I like
Oh
Santa
yeah,
Claus
those
is coming to
old
town.
Rudolph.
The claymation
Rudolph.
ones, yeah,
Yeah, just
those are
watched
all
Rudolph right
great.
before this up.
Did you cry,
Anyway, The Holiday.
Jay? Is this in your canon?
No, not mine. I mean, it's in my canon because I'm married to my wife, I guess. It's in my
Well, it could be. You don't have
household's
to have your
canon.
wife around for it to be in your canon or not.
It's
You don't
not in
want
my canon. I'll
to.
just
You
say
don't
it right
want.
now. This is not one of
You
my
don't want a little
faves.
Nancy in your holiday season.
Not one of my faves. And I think its biggest flaw, we'll talk about it. I want to recast this movie. That's what I
It
want.
has no
Oh,
flaws. This movie is perfect.
well, Karen, this is your
It's
favorite
like
Nancy. I did it. It's
uh,
It's
uh,
Karen's favorite Nancy. We're gonna let her talk. You're not gonna cut her off, Jay.
I let them all talk.
Karen,
Yeah.
what about the holiday makes it your favorite Nancy Meyers movie?
I really enjoy the characters. I like that. I mean, we jump right into who they are, but yet we still get to develop and see them learn more about them throughout the movie and see them kind of grow and change. It's in a very short amount of time, obviously. This is this is like years worth of therapy in 2 weeks, but that's okay. I like it. I'm here for it. Um, I really like so many things about it. I think it's very funny. I really enjoy the writing. I like, you have Kate Winslet, who's Iris. She's from England. She works for a newspaper and she's dealing with unrequited love, which is something that, many of us understand. And yes, it seems ridiculous that someone as beautiful as Kate Winslet would have a hard time finding a man to fall in love with her, but I think that the way that she sells it, it works, and I buy into it because it's just, sure, she's just hung up on someone who doesn't love her back. And Rufus Sewell, I just want to punch him in the face. And
Ooh.
this is the movie that made me go, wait, is Jack Black kind of hot? Maybe. I think he is. And then there's Jude Law. This really did a lot to revitalize him and his career for a lot of people. So, and I miss Cameron Diaz. I wish she was. I know she's coming back. I hope it's an actual comeback and not just a one-off. But I love her in this movie. I love the cast. Eli Wallach is this old, you know, Hollywood film writer who has all these stories about Cary Grant and others. And I enjoy everything about it. This is all the typical Nancy Meyers hallmarks, the big beautiful kitchen and the
Oh yeah.
perfect,
And a little beautiful kitchen.
and a little beautiful kitchen.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just all the things that you look at a Nancy Meyers movie and you see her trademarks. They're all here in The Holiday, and I just love that it's all blended together in this cozy Christmas tale. So,
Jay,
Yes.
now that Karen said all those nice things about a movie that she loves,
Yeah.
she's going to say a lot more.
I'm gonna
Try
mute
to,
myself.
try to be nice, Jay. It's the holiday season. Don't be
I
a Scrooge.
don't
Don't be a Scrooge.
I
But
don't hate this movie. I,
but say your grievances, I guess.
yeah, I mean, if there's one problem, like the biggest problem I have with this movie is I just don't find it funny, and I don't find that it attempts to be funny very often, which I think is a rather strange angle to take. I also have a bit of probably an unfair Cameron Diaz aversion in general. And I think Jack Black is verging on disastrous casting in this movie. I don't find his character charming. I think the scene where he is reenacting scores in the Blockbuster is makes me want to crawl out of my skin. And there's just some sequences that I'm just like, this is, why isn't this funnier? Why isn't this more dramatically compelling? It's just like everything is kind of sort of almost there. And as with, if there's one thing we have discovered watching these movies consecutively, every Nancy Meyers movie exists in some sort of alternate universe, or all the characters are aliens interacting as human beings for the first time. I think that's a very fun part of the Nancy Meyers oeuvre. But that again is certainly the case in this film, where the entire conceit of the film, swapping houses with somebody you've never even spoken to, absolutely bananas. And I can get behind that. It's fun. It's heightened. It's, some fun hijinks. The star,
Homeexchange.com is a real website, and it saw usage spike after this movie. Just
I
saying.
mean, you know what? Maybe that's a me problem. That might be a me problem entirely. That's very fair. But the star of the show here is Jude Law, man. He's hitting grand slams every time he's on screen. I mean, he is an absolute babe. Mr. Napkin Head, in my opinion, one of our greatest cinematic heroes. And we need to talk about him more.
He should have got his own spinoff.
He's one of my favorite Marvel characters, and it's kind of a shame that he got written out as quickly as he did.
Man, what would his power be?
Charm, charisma.
Oh, okay. So you can only get so far before Thanos gets rid of you that way.
No, he would have. If Mr. Napkinhead was in Endgame,
we would have never had that issue.
Or Infinity War, nobody would have ever gone away. Like, he would have been. They would have just. Thanos would have been like, "This dude's pretty chill."
I kind of want to see it. I want to see Jude Law as Mr. Napkinhead now in a Marvel movie so bad. This is.
It's funny that you're saying that, because I was thinking, gosh, if she made this movie 30 years before, Cary Grant would have played the Jude Law character, but I can't see him doing Mr. Napkinhead.
Too deep of a voice, I think.
I mean, there can only be one Mr. Napkinhead.
Yeah, right? There's one. Yeah, there's only one.
But then the scene, like,
wait for
when Cameron Diaz goes and meets the children for the first time, that scene destroys me. That is, like, so touching. When the daughter calls them the Three Musketeers, forget about it. Like,
man,
get me out of here. Puddle. Incredible stuff. And there are those moments of just, like, pure Nancy magic, but God, this movie isn't trying to be funny, which is weird. Eli Wallach is very good, though. That guy, he's really bringing the heat as well. And I think Winslet is really great, because she's just a tremendous actress who can sell what this movie is, which is not what I think it sells itself as, or maybe is trying to be. I can't decide.
What do you think it is it's trying to do, Jay? And what do you, in your opinion, what do you
I think it
is?
wants to be kind of a more artisanal but recognizable romantic comedy, and it kind of forgets the comedy of it all, and it just turns into kind of a romantic drama that feigns comedy a little bit. And then you have the Jack Black character who, when he does do comedy, because it's a film that isn't that, it is terrible. And that's a problem. But it's a real mixed bag for me. I like a lot of it. I was on its side more this time, maybe, than I have been the last couple times I watched it. My wife adores this movie. After the film, she saw me on Letterboxd on my phone log it as a 2.5, and she got genuinely mad at me. But I'm gonna stand strong. I'm not gonna let her define me. That's how I am. But it's a real mixed bag for me. I'm excited to talk about it, though. It's an interesting movie and an important movie. People have really, this has again become, like Karen said, I think this is kind of a canonical Christmas movie, maybe the last canonical Christmas movie. So,
you sleeping on the couch tonight after that rating?
No, that was last night. I'm back though, baby.
Oh, okay. All right, good. You have a comfortable couch, Jay?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
no.
Not.
We purposely bought an uncomfortable couch, so if someone had to sleep on it, they would be having a rough morning the next day. So
hell yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. I am in the middle of you guys, which means I'm more positive on this movie than Jay, but it's not my favorite, like Karen's. Like most Nancy movies, I'm gonna give them all a pass because I love them. And this one is such an interesting film because, Jay, I get what you're trying to say. Like, this is obviously billed as a romantic comedy, but then I think that it does kind of subvert those expectations and does it kind of in only ways that Nancy could do it, which is, I think that this is a drama. And I think in a lot of ways it feels like her answer, like Nancy's answer to Love Actually.
An answer.
Weirdly enough, Like I was feeling a lot of Richard Curtis vibes watching this movie.
Maybe that's why I don't like it.
And I know
Okay.
you're not a big Richard Curtis guy, but I think it was like Nancy watched that movie and went, I know it's successful, but I don't necessarily like that. What let me and also I don't like the way that
She doesn't like that it's successful.
no
She doesn't like
the
success.
sort of the form of it, not the box office success, because she doesn't need to worry about that because she is box office successful. I think the form of that sort of storytelling, I don't necessarily think that she would go for as something as sprawling as that. I do also think that like the female characters in that movie in Love Actually are thinly written.
I mean, the Keira
And
Knightley character is very straightforward and
well, even I would say,
unproblematic,
well,
and
I mean, even like Emma Thompson's character, who is probably the best female character in the film, is written to just basically stand there and take Alan Rickman's, abuse of their relationship, and it's a pretty thankless batch
Yeah,
of roles.
the
Yeah.
women in Love Actually, a movie that I do enjoy watching, but the fact is that all the women in Love Actually are they're in service to men in some way.
They're
All
caricatures
of
in
them.
a lot of ways. And I think that this movie weirdly is an answer to that, in that love at the holidays can be a little sad and complex. And I think the idea of this movie, it's totally believable. So many people want to get away, leave their world, leave their job, leave their families, leave the political discussions at the dinner table, leave it, leave all the stress from the just 24 hours that they deal with every single day and move completely somewhere else. And then sort of serendipitously just let the world kind of take you over from there. Now, I think that Jay is right. The more romantic, consistent storyline is the Diaz Jude Law storyline. The character that actually makes it out better, in my opinion, is Kate Winslet's character, Iris, because I think she has the easier setup, honestly. Like, and I think that the Rufus Sewell character is horrible. So, and she just has to come to that realization. That's pretty easy. She gets to live in this
not for
sunny.
her.
Well, not
It's
for
not as
her.
easy as you think it is.
Yeah.
It feels like it could have been resolved a little bit easier. Like like everyone's, but also
Okay.
but I feel bad. No, but I get that for her. Like this guy was everything, right? But like the writing's clearly on the wall, Iris. Like this guy is using you, and she's such a smart person and everything. And I just was sitting there with her being like, I wanted to just be her friend and be like, you guys, this man is never going to be with you. He's never going to commit to you. That's just the frustrating bit about that. But
I'm
I,
laughing because I literally go through this with my friends. Like, this
Yeah,
is what it's like to be a middle-aged woman.
but
I was
I
going to say
just,
this is a very real thing that happens.
but
I mean,
Jay,
it's not,
I'm dealing
J-
with this right now.
but Jay, I disagree with you. I think Jack Black's charming in this movie. And I think, oh, okay, time out. And I know Karen's probably going to agree with me on this. As a man that loves movies, I totally do this shit all the time. Every guy does this shit one way or another. He is literally talking about Vangelis. He's talking about all these people, and the girl is supposed to just sit there and just hear it all out. Like it's
like the Godfather scene in Barbie.
yeah, it really is. It really is. And that's why you're like,
That scene
it's
is there
annoying.
for
And
a
like,
reason.
it's there for a reason. Yeah, that's also like every guy in LA. Like, like they are obsessed with the industry and talking about the industry. And he's like literally, and
But
sometimes
it's played as purely charming. Like it's like, this is what a
because
sweetie pie.
he's also a decent guy, and he's not an asshole. Like that's the thing you can say about Miles is he's going through a similar thing like Iris, where he's got this girl that he's going after, but he can't see yet that what's staring them both in the face is the obvious that they should be together. We all know this as the audience, and we're building that up, and they're very nice to one another. But clearly they're chasing after things that are just not going to happen. And they both realize that and realize what they have in front of them, and then they end up together. And they're very cute together. And Jack Black and Kate Winslet walking through that Blockbuster, even with the Dustin Hoffman cameo there too. It's super charming. It's cute. It's no different than any of these other movies that she's had movie stars walking
Annoying.
down
Makes me
the
want to bury
beach.
my head in the sand.
Oh wait, the sand from Something's Gotta Give?
You know who auditioned for the Jack Black role though?
Who?
Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, that would have been 10 times worse, and you
I
would have
know it
hated
would have
it.
been way worse. Yeah,
No, but I think that I think Black
would have gone from a 2 to a -7.
I think Black sells it really well. And I think he's perfect opposite Kate Winslet here. And yeah, Eli Wallach's incredible in this movie.
He's great.
He's great. And but it's a Diaz Law show, and we're lucky to be living in it, man. Like it's so good. She's the whole bit about her not crying, and we see throughout the film that's like she's trying to cry, she's trying to get emotional, especially about her, opening herself up to this guy. And he's a book editor. He's got these two girls, and the sad part about him is like he's drinking himself to death every night, and it's not because he's just a playboy, it's because he's a widower, and
WIDOWER.
Stop it.
It's really good. And then you had like her telling him about like we used to call each other Three Musketeers, and then it's like he doesn't want to tell her all that.
They're still the Three Musketeers, not used to.
No, her and her
No,
parents.
she
Right.
talks about yeah.
She talks about that, and then like they say that they're the Three Musketeers, and then it's like, yeah, Jay, you're like, oh well, shit, Nancy's got me. It's good. And there's going to be some things that I talk about that are just silly and continuity and how and learning about. I learned recently. I don't know if you guys know this or not, because Jude Law's been doing a lot of press for like the 100 roles that he's been doing this year or something. That the cottage is not actually real. Like the cottage, like the interior of the cottage was on a soundstage.
Well, yeah.
And that the exterior was, they did find a location, but none of it's real. So everybody I was reading a lot of comments, but everybody was very upset finding that out.
Wait, hold on. I'm looking at, you're saying this is a movie?
Well, I mean, like that house is real, right? That she stays at in Los Angeles. So
that is true.
Yes,
but it's very hard to shoot in the tiny interiors.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's
there's also just that
it's like Narnia going inside the house when she gets in there. It feels endless.
But it's just like such a cute little cottage that I think the disappointment comes from knowing that it's just make believe, that it's not a place that we in the real world could actually go and see.
Sure.
It's like, oh, that's such a bummer.
Guys, but Hogwarts is real.
Of course.
I mean, it is Nancy Meyers, like impeccably designed, and it also reads as real. So that's really the fact that people are upset that it's not real is a credit to how
well, it's why, because every time she has a movie come out and it's not nominated for production design, you sit around there and you go, what the fuck's going on? Like, how is this not possible? Because it's so impeccably detailed and it's so brilliantly
specific.
Yeah, it's so specific. And that goes to speak to her and her, and her attention to detail and how it's completely over the top. But it works because she knows what she likes, and she knows that it'll make those settings that those characters in feel more realistic, even if it is doing it on a soundstage, which is kind of incredible that for 20 years people didn't know this. And then like, bam, they have this happen, and it's like you killed all these. It's like you told them Santa Claus isn't real or something. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Well, but that would be a lie.
Yeah, that would be like, because Santa is real.
Obviously.
Like, yeah. I had a beer with him last week. He was awesome. It was a ginger beer. So there you go. A root beer, a sarsaparilla, if it were. But no, I mean, I do like the one bit where Diaz's character, because she's a movie trailer person, she's got the movie trailers playing in her head.
I find that annoying.
Oh, did you find that annoying?
I think that is annoying.
I thought that was charming.
I loved that.
Jay, are you being a Mr. Scrooge today?
I mean, I am a little bit of a Scrooge about this movie, but
apparently so.
Amanda Woods was down on her luck, looking for love.
in all the wrong places.
Yeah.
And then Jude Law came in.
I mean, it did make me quasi nostalgic. My wife, while we were watching it, was literally like, "Can we just watch some '90s trailers? Those were great."
Yeah.
Hell
That was her.
Douglas, man. He's great.
What do you think she's doing now as a job? Is she doing
Who?
regular trailers, I guess, now? And
Oh, Amanda Woods.
yeah,
She could still, yeah.
She's
She's
Mrs.
still
Napkin
doing
Head.
doesn't see,
She probably sold the company for a lot of money, is what
probably
she does.
Probably what
so.
happened.
She's probably not like she's probably
like
not making
Silicon
trailers
Valley, she
anymore
made a
because
killing.
her trailers aren't like 3.5 minutes long and don't give away the whole movie. You know, so that's why she's.
So,
doing a good
yeah,
job.
you're right. She would be Dunzo by now.
Yeah, she would be done so by now. Like she could never cut an MCU trailer. You know, she could never cut a Fast and Furious trailer. You know,
Would the MCU use Scorsese, Red?
oh man, they would. Well, they did in Deadpool, right? Like that was cool. It was cool seeing
That
Catherine
was a
Hahn
funny.
and
It's a funny joke. Scorsese read is a funny joke.
yeah.
Thank you.
See, it was cool seeing Catherine Hahn and John Krasinski show up for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was them.
I always forget they're in there and then they pop up and I'm like, oh yeah.
Not the last time we're going to be talking about Krasinski. Jay.
And then we get a little Lindsay Lohan reunion.
Yeah, with Franco.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you know who
That's
directed
another
the
one that's always
Franco
like,
Lindsay Lohan stuff?
Oh, the action movie that's
the
in
movie within a movie.
Who did that?
Charles Shire.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
which is interesting.
looks like they're being friendly again. Just
Because
like
Nancy was like, you know who could make a bad movie? Sure, my ex-husband.
it's almost just like I got a job for you, dick. You know what I mean?
Make it the best thing you've ever made, Chuck.
Didn't
I'm
it
sure
look
you'll
like-
knock it out of the park.
Didn't it look like a fake ass Tony Scott movie? Like straight
Oh,
up.
totally.
Yeah.
Like I would say they were like, wow, the lens flares and the cutting and everything. I was like, wow, this is like a sequel to Domino. This is great. So that movie's good. Come on, guys. What else? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the holiday.
Can I give you my alternate casting for this movie? Because
Yeah, because you
well,
say
you know
this
what?
cast
Let's not go
stinks.
there yet because we need to talk about the good.
Let's-
We need to talk about the good stuff.
Yeah. I was
Talk
gonna
about,
say, like, let's save that
Yeah,
stuff.
we'll save. We'll save it.
Here's what I will say about the Kate Winslet and Jack Black storyline. Well,
Yeah, say it.
yes, that too, but also I think what I love, one of the things, not what I love, because there's so many things, but one of the things that I really appreciate about this movie is that it's pretty smart about the two characters of Amanda and Iris and where they're at in life and what they need to get them through the situations that they're in. Iris has been, I mean, Arthur tells her this herself that she's the leading lady, but she doesn't act like she's the leading lady. She acts like the best friend. And that's what she's been doing in her whole life. So she needs to like have this big adventure and go out and just imagine this bigger life than what she's been living. And so for her to go to Amanda's house, which is this big Beverly Hills mansion, and get to be around movie stars, she ends up at a thing at the WGA, and connected to these people in the industry and just like getting to have this big, huge life experience that she wouldn't have in her tiny little cottage outside of London. Whereas Amanda, she really needs to scale back and simplify. And so for her to leave that big lifestyle and go to this little country house where she doesn't know how to drive on the right side of the road, sorry, the left side of the road, the correct side of the road. And she's very lonely. Right. She's cut off and she needs to experience being lonely and being a little bit bored and being cut off from everything. And so I like that setup right off the bat, that they both get what they actually need when really, and at the start, they're just looking to get away. I'll start there.
And I mean, along those same lines, it's sort of like Kate Winslet, her character needs to experience like a genuinely sweet guy, and Cameron Diaz just kind of needs to get something out of her system. Like she's sort of angrier for better reasons, maybe, or she's been, the wound is very fresh for her. Whereas the wound for Iris has sort of, it's it's a bruise at this point. Like
It's
it's a
lingering.
festering
Yeah.
wound. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I think she needs something that can grow a little bit more, whereas Cameron Diaz needs like a jolt. She just needs like like she needs something fresh and hard and other words that I probably shouldn't use in the context of what's going on with them. But it I think that really matches up well to their characters, and I think that's good kind of story writing and recognition of what their characters really are and need in those particular moments. And Nancy Meyers is really good at that. And she's normally, I think, awesome at movie star casting. This is, to me, the exception of that rule. But we're talking about the good stuff. And
I also
Well, just give it a second.
anyway.
JT's like jumping at the bit. No, I mean, I will say that I think that at least for Iris, she needs expansion in her life. And to your point, Karen, I think Amanda needs, I think she needs it scaled down. She's in a world where she is the boss and she's dealing with hundreds of people and hundreds of problems and all these different things that are moving at 100 miles an hour for her. She is fully in control. And the thing about falling in love with Graham and these two girls and all this is that she's not in control of that. She's not in control of this relationship as much as she wants. She's losing control the more she's with him. She's not playing by rules like the trailer in her head starts to say. She's not making her life like she had with Ed Burns, where it feels like it's strategic and that it fits within her schedule. She gets to be more loose as opposed to Iris, where she's got friends, or she's got maybe a life, or she's got a brother and everything, but everything is dedicated on this, I wouldn't say obsession, but this dream of being with this guy. And she needs to be around different people and have outsiders' perspectives and see that there are other people that care about her, that it's not inside this, inside work, outside of work. And because it just seems like she is essentially going to work, coming home, staying in this cottage, crying herself to sleep, and then if her drunk brother shows up, she's taking care of him. And the real question becomes, if her brother's drunk and she's there, who takes care of the girls? But I assume she goes and takes care of the girls. But I think that they both need that. And so, yes, there is this desperateness behind their messages to one another where they are both, I will give up everything right now, either consciously or subconsciously, to have something change my life. And they need it. And then ultimately, whether you think that it's successful or whether you think it was right or whether you think it's silly, like they go on this experience and it ultimately changes them in the end. And their embrace by the fire on New Year's, the shot that Nancy has above Diaz and Winslet there, it feels like a hug
It is
of
sweet.
like
It's
we need
very sweet.
it's that they both needed this and that
it ends nicely.
and without having to say any dialogue whatsoever about it, which is great.
It's also really important that you have just a couple of things to what you were just talking about, Ryan. You have Iris, who she does have a lot of people in her life, but you do get that sense that she goes home and spends very many of her evenings all by herself in her cottage with her dog. And then you've got Amanda, who's constantly surrounded by people. And what's interesting with that is that Amanda has been around so many people, but she hasn't had true, genuine connection with anybody in a long time. And that's what she really needs. And that's what she finds with Graham. And for Iris, even though she spends a lot of time alone, she's not really connected to herself. And that's what she gets to find when she goes to Los Angeles. And Arthur helps her with that. Miles helps her with that. But ultimately, they, especially through Arthur, they help her to help herself. And so I really like that, how much you can drill down into these characters and how much Meyers clearly thought about these women, their experiences, and not only the macro level of what they needed, but really down into their cells of just what is really missing in their lives, what their day-to-day life is probably like, and how they can how they can get what they need through this experience.
What do you think happens at the end of this movie? Who goes where? Do they
Well,
both end up in England?
well, it seems like that New Year's is at Graham's house,
It is,
right?
Mhm.
for
So
sure.
you're talking about after the holiday.
I
I'm
think the
saying
swap becomes permanent. I think I think
you
Iris
think
stays in
Iris?
LA.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
I think that yeah, I think Amanda moves everything over to
I think Amanda, I really do. I think
The
she
Graham.
sells the business and she moves to England.
Well, it's harder to move the girls,
yeah.
Hmm.
obviously.
I think there's that, and I think that there's. I mean, she doesn't need that anymore. That life has sort of passed her by.
Hmm.
She now can take care of Graham and the girls and be there for them in ways that she has always wanted. It seems that scene where they're at the dinner table and they're talking about her parents, and that's why she hasn't cried. It's because she hasn't had genuine love in her life since her parents passed. And she feels that with this guy who is very sensitive and very
Can't believe she didn't feel it with Edward Burns. What a charmer.
I mean, who hasn't wanted to punch him in the face? But the thing about Amanda too, but the thing about Amanda too is it's like there's nothing in her life, nobody that she's cared about as much, and nothing in her life that has ever made her as sad as the moment she found out her parents were splitting up. Like that right there was just such a crushing, crushing experience that affected her entire life, and she's never been able to connect or probably wanted to connect with anybody on that level again, so she's never been in a position to feel that kind of emotional release.
Well, I mean, and also too, Catherine Hahn and John Krasinski, they turn out okay. So like, they lose their jobs. 75 trailers.
It's a lot of
That
trailers.
that means
Yeah.
and I would assume if you cut the trailers, you have to watch the films because she knows the films
A
in
lot
and
of
out. It
times they cut trailers before the films are even done.
seems like it, but it seemed like when she was talking, she's like, she knew the film. She does her homework on it.
She
So
probably read the script and had seen a bunch of
yeah,
footage,
she probably
so
she probably
She's a
had maybe,
pro.
she's a
yeah.
pro. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So, but with Iris, yeah, I mean, look, she's got her best buddy Eli Wallach there. She's got her film composer boyfriend, and she's a writer. She's a columnist, so she can
She can do
go
that anywhere.
do that anywhere. And she doesn't need to do it just at the Telegraph. She can do it in literally LA.
Honestly, this is 2006. What probably happened is Iris moved to LA, started a blog, and it became a huge hit and went
Mm.
viral.
I bet you she wrote a book about this.
It was
She
called
probably
And
did.
she
Broken
probably,
Hearted Brit.
yeah, she probably wrote The Holiday. Or no, it was probably called The Exchange. It was what the title of the book was called, and it sold like hotcakes because there's not. And she probably got the Oprah seal.
Yep.
I bet you,
That's what
$100.
happened.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
she went on Oprah.
And then when they made a movie about it, Amanda cut the trailer.
Exactly. There you go.
Mhm.
See, it's
Yeah.
And
all in the
Miles
family.
scored it. Mhm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you know who edited?
Witherspoon picked it up.
And you know who edited the book? Her brother, because he's a book editor.
Mhm.
Is it
Wow.
nepotism? Sure.
Nepo
Um,
author.
Is it about who you know? Is it about who you love? You damn right it is. So
I have to say too, I do love that Amanda specifically asks Iris, "Are there any men in your town?" And Iris does not think to mention her super hot brother because, of
yeah,
course, she wouldn't, because he's her brother.
yeah, I guess. But it's also like, I mean, if you knew that your brother was decently attractive, because she's like,
I
I told
remember the
nobody.
first time a girl told me that she thought my brother was cute, and I was so confused. And then I found out this is something that all the girls thought, and I was just like, really?
Oh.
I
Disgusting.
had no idea.
Jay, did you find out from all the girls about your brother and if he was cute, or did they find out about
Um,
you?
I kind of went to college before that stage kind of happened. So no,
I
my
was just trying to
friends were
get you and
not super
Karen to
into my
relate on.
7-year-old younger
See,
brother. That would have been a little
I was
weird.
I was an only child, so sorry guys. You know, I didn't have that experience. Um, I the old Hollywood stuff in the movie too with Eli Wallach. I just have to say
It
is great. It's so her.
The
It's
meta movie stuff in this is a lot more prevalent than I remember. Like there's times where I'm like, is she doing like a Woody Allen like super meta thing or almost like a Billy Wilder
Billy
sort of
Wild. No, it feels very
I
Billy Wilder.
yeah.
self-referential?
It doesn't feel Woody Allen. It feels
Yeah.
very Billy
No, Billy
Wilder.
Wilder was the first one that came to mind,
Yeah,
but
because
it
she's
certainly
just
was like, man, there is so much movie stuff in
well,
this.
she was a I mean, The Apartment was the movie that sort of changed her life. She loved Billy Wilder. She loved his movies. She loved that era. You know, those early 40s, you know, or just the 40s in general. I mean,
I mean, this
she
does end
made
up being a movie about just people borrowing other people's houses to get laid.
yeah.
That ends up being what the movie's about.
I mean, like Winslet watched His Girl Friday and the Philadelphia Story to sort of get it in preparation for the dialogue and the role and everything. And Diaz talked a lot about Goldie Hawn about her performance, and I was reading a lot of just about how they sort of all, you know, it's like they all just sort of went back in time to inside Nancy's head to make these sort of this, you know, a movie like this, and she, you can tell that at a certain point, like people had stories to tell, right? And this is the Wallach character of like, well, what if I did know somebody from that era? Maybe, you know, I don't know if she did know Billy Wilder or not, probably not. But like, what if I got to hang out with my hero? And what if I got to help him have the respect and honor and those kind of movies of the past get their day in the sun? Because I am someone that is benefiting and had a career benefiting off of these legendary films from these legendary performances
And a love for writers.
and a love for writers. It is just an
Yeah.
absolute like unabashed love of writing and dialogue and a little bit of rewriting some history in there too. And but it's just, it's all perfect. She's not trying to like rewrite everything. You know, she's
Between the
just
composers and the writers, it's really a love for like under
the
I know
underappreciated
Karen, we don't like saying this, below the line people.
for
But
the crafts, for the
the
crafts
crafts.
people. Yeah.
But there's also just some beautiful references to some of the screen queens too of the classic Hollywood
Mhm.
era. Irene Dunn and Barbara
Yeah.
Stanwyck and all these just
Gumption.
yes, we have tons of
Using
it.
that word in there. Oh, so perfect.
Hmm.
I gotta say this too. And we didn't mention that we did not mention this in the Something's
Yet
Gotta
we
Give
haven't mentioned. Oh, you're talking about a
episode.
different movie. Okay.
Yeah. And we have to mention it here. And we're going to mention it in the next episode. One of Nancy's secret weapons in these three movies, Hans Zimmer.
Oh, sure.
Hmm. Yeah.
Man rules. These are some of his best scores. They fit her movies perfectly and match her tone
Do you think
of
this is
her
he at the
writing.
point? Is he at the point here where he's just putting his name on it and handing it off to underlings, or is he not
No,
quite there yet?
I think that he's, I don't think so. Well, I mean, like this is post Pirates, I guess, but like where a lot of people said he
I
stole
think he
that.
still did it.
I think he
The score
still
is good.
did
I
it.
mean, he can make a ton of different
I
scores.
think
It's
like
kind of
2010,
crazy looking
2010s
back
when
at
he starts doing it. You know what
his
I mean?
career and you look at, oh, he did that super weird True Romance score, and he did, all kinds of different weird stuff.
Well, his one of his frequent, it's like he's done a lot
He's
of,
versatile.
no, I mean, he's done like, I kind of forgot when I was doing the research earlier this year and I talked to Steve McQueen. He's pretty much done every score of his since 12 Years a Slave. And so he's worked with him a lot. I mean, obviously Villeneuve, but then it's like, no, but like one of his frequent collaborators is Nancy.
Hmm.
And it's
Yeah.
I
very versatile. And I kind of respect that for Hans.
I like that Miles's home studio is actually based on Hans Zimmer's home studio. So yeah.
Exactly. Oh, and Hans played such a big part in that, in the score and the tone of Something's Got to Give. So, of course, Miles is a composer, and then we're going to talk about like his score next week, and it's complicated, which is just a goddamn lovely score. I was listening to that earlier today. They're just like really great scores, by the way, to just cook
It's
to. I love them.
lovely score that you're not gonna like. Can you hum me a tune from this song? I mean, it's not particularly memorable, but in the moment, it is incredibly
No, but they
effective. I
just
do
fit.
agree with
They
you.
it feel like fits like a warm blanket. You know, a
It
cold
doesn't
winter's
have
night.
what Jack Black would describe as dum dum
Treedle
dum dum
deedle lee da
dum
deedle loo
dum.
da doo. Yeah. Chugga, 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 chugga. He's fun. I do miss going down the aisles at Blockbuster. There's
Do you know
there
the
was just nothing better than
Do you
that.
know the story behind the Hoffman thing?
Mhm.
I don't, but you can tell the listeners if you'd
I
like to.
remember when it happened before the movie came out.
Really, Karen?
Apparently, and Karen, correct me if I'm off here, but
Was it
apparently
a
he was
big
just
deal?
going to Blockbuster, right?
Hmm.
And then he
Really?
saw the production crew, and he knew Nancy Meyers, and he was like, "Let's do it." And they
And then
wrote a scene off the cuff, and he was in it.
Yep.
he sang Mrs. Robinson.
They were filming the scene in the Blockbuster already. And yeah,
Huh.
he just happened by and
Oh, it's so cool.
yeah. So that's why he has that line of can't go anywhere.
So he just like made so he did like a I'll have what she's having kind of moment for himself.
Mhm.
There you go. Brought his own wardrobe and everything. I wonder what he rented. I wonder what he rented.
It just stinks that we're never going to talk about The Graduate on this podcast. It's just very unfortunate.
Yeah, yeah. Well, sometimes it's just how it goes, buddy.
We're never going to do it.
We're never gonna do it. We're never gonna talk
Certainly
about
not in the next like couple months or so.
No, we're never gonna do it. We're never gonna do it. God damn it,
I
Jay.
want to say before Jay starts in on his dream recasting, I want to say that I'm going to defend Jack Black. I think
Thank you.
he is a great choice, and one of the reasons that I think so is because he achieves that perfect blend that Nancy's going for of sweet and silly, someone who can be kind of big and loud, but is fun about it. Not, I mean, it's a little bit embarrassing to have someone like blaring the Chariots of Fire theme out in the middle of a store, but it's also like not so embarrassing that you just want to crawl into a hole and die. You're just like, oh my gosh, okay, everybody's looking, but also this is funny and cute. So, and I think Jack Black is a perfect choice for that. And I was dead serious when I said this is the movie that made me go, wait, is he kind of hot? Because I think maybe he is.
Well, it's just also what Iris needs. She
Mhm.
needs somebody with a little life, a little
She needs somebody fun
punch.
and silly and playful.
Yeah, she needs to have a good time, and it's not. She's been literally wrapped around the finger of this absolute fucking piece of shit, and then that brings on all the self doubt and the loathing and all the different things and the emotions that she has. So yeah, I'm not gonna get mad, unlike some. If she goes to a Blockbuster and has fucking fun for once. How dare you, Jay? How dare you?
Why do you hate fun, Jay?
Why do you hate women?
That's a good
You
point.
know?
That's a good. You got me. I can't help but say you got me.
I will also say just in general about Iris and Miles and what starts as a friendship and a flirtation. It's definitely flirtatious from the moment they meet. But as it grows, I really like the fact that Miles is how Iris, part of what contributes, not the only thing, but part of what contributes to Iris being able to look at Jasper for what he is and to really to see in Miles's situation, okay, I see what needs to be done there, and now I'm finally strong enough to do it for myself. And I was totally serious. Like that is such like her situation and his too. But her situation is so real to me, and it is something that I deal with my friends. And it really is in seeing like the way we encourage them to deal with their problems really does help help us to do the right thing in our own. So I really enjoy that and getting to see that come full circle. And there's that moment where they're having sushi and the girlfriend calls and he gets off the phone and he's like, yeah, we want to talk this out. And there's that sense of, oh my gosh, Miles, just tell her no, like just be done with this. And Iris knows that that's what he needs to do, but she also knows because of her experience that she can't just tell him that he has to figure it out for himself. And so she backs off. And and lets him do his thing. And she even encourages him because she knows that that's what he needs, and he will figure it out, and he does.
Jay,
Yeah.
just get your casting out of the way.
All right, let's talk about it. So, all right, well, hey, let me.
You're a monster.
In general, it sounds like you both are pro Cameron Diaz.
I think. Listen, I'm always pro Cameron Diaz. I think that she is when Cameron
The
Diaz.
counselor pro.
Yeah, I am pro counselor. Karen, are you pro counselor?
Sure.
Okay. No, but I think this about Cameron Diaz, and maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But like when we talked about Tony Scott, Jay, we said a certain movie died in Hollywood. And I feel like for better or for worse,
Now this is a bad take.
Cameron Diaz made films that Hollywood studios refuse to make anymore. They refuse to make
Not
movies
because of her.
I think presence like her, stars like her, and as they've gone away, they have not replaced stars like her. She had a certain movie star quality to certain films that
Cameron
made
Diaz retiring
them
did
work.
not kill the
Yeah.
romantic comedy. No.
It was part of it. She was a big staple in it for years. And I think, I do think that.
I'm
But
calling
putting-
malarkey.
No, I'm putting it right on the table. I think losing a star like that is a staple in the genre does not help out the genre. I think so.
I don't know. I think there's other reasons. I think Hollywood got scared to greenlight things that were a little different, and they just got very into the superhero thing. What I will say, Jay, before you tell us your ideas, is I do enjoy Cameron Diaz in this role. I like her in general. I like her in this role. However, I do think of the four, Amanda is the one that probably could most easily be swapped out with any other actress, and it wouldn't significantly change the movie.
So, Jay, who would you swap her out for?
All right, so I got two
Okay.
for Amanda. All right. One's a little bit younger. Ryan, you know who I'm going to say.
Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney, of course.
Oh, so you're talking modern,
12-year-old
not
Sydney
2006.
Sweeney. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
No, he's fucking
Amy
right.
Adams is the first one because I think Amy Adams is eminently charming. She's a little bit younger. But the question with her is, can she play as much the sort of professional confidence at this point in her career?
No,
Which I think is a fair question to ask.
I think probably like
or is she
5 or
just
6 more years, maybe she could play that role.
was she just the enchanted,
I think
doe-eyed?
she probably could have played a better Iris at this point than she could have played an
Yeah,
Amanda.
I
That's
would agree
possible.
with that.
The other one that I was thinking about, and this one might be a little out there because at this point she wasn't really, I don't think, doing this quite as much. I think Jennifer Connelly would have knocked this out of the park.
That's the first person in my head that I thought you were going to say, and that's actually not a bad idea. I just don't think that Connelly. No
Jennifer
offense,
Connelly, Jude Law. Oh my
no.
goodness.
My thing with that, I mean, how do you not love Jennifer Connelly? My thing about that is that I think Amanda works because Cameron Diaz she's beautiful, but she's cute. And I think Jennifer Connelly is beautiful. She's not, there's nothing cute about her.
No, I think also Diaz is a bigger of a star than Connelly, and I think that's also helps
trying to
the
think of
role
where was Diaz?
Maybe,
at this
but I
point?
don't know if that's really the criteria that I would
Oh,
disqualify
a
her
little
for.
bit.
I really
I don't think a
it's the
studio's
cute thing.
gonna. I don't think a studio writes this all the way if you don't have somebody like Diaz, who was in big movies. Like Connolly's won an
at the time,
Oscar.
they probably would have tried to go for like a Sandra Bullock, who is also cute, but she's I don't know. I think it's the confidence thing too. Like not confidence. I think seeing her sell herself as this like high-powered businesswoman who
There's
Sandy
something
B
about
would have been good.
Sandy would have been good. That's actually a really good one, Karen. I think there's something about Diaz because she is incredibly beautiful, but she also is incredibly strong and can play someone that owns a business, but also it's like she's got all the beauty of a model, but she's also got all the smarts of a CEO, and she can do both, but then be extremely vulnerable at the same time when she's with Law there, and I actually, yeah, I think Bullock would probably.
Vulnerable, yes, but you can also buy her when she's completely closed off and
Yes,
kind of cold.
exactly, and that's
Mhm.
what I think that Bullock probably would have been a like, you know, would Julia Roberts have been able to do that? Maybe, I don't know. Like I could see like Julia kind of like, yeah, I could probably actually see Julia Roberts doing that.
Mhm.
That could have been really good too. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that working.
And she would have been, I mean, we got to see with Closer what Julia Roberts and Jude Law look like. So that, there you go. I'm helping you out, Jay. Put
I mean,
Julia Roberts
that's a
in it.
totally good option too. And
Yeah.
speaking of Julia Roberts,
Who also worked with her on My Best Friend's Wedding and is a staple of the romantic
true,
comedy genre. There you go.
early Diaz,
There you
yes.
go.
As for the Jack Black character,
Oh, God.
who I think is the worst casting in the film, and I'm not entirely sold on these hypothetical castings because I think part of the appeal, the supposed appeal of his character is that he looks like Jack Black. He doesn't look like the people that I think I'm going to recommend for this role. But the
Okay.
first person I thought of who can really sell like pop culture obsession and enthusiasm was Ethan Hawke. I think he's so good at that. And he's also a great actor, and he's very desirable. And the other guy I thought of who is also entirely willing to kind of give himself over to something like this, again, this sort of hyper enthusiastic, I think about him in a movie starring Julia Roberts, where he is trying too hard to make people like him. Matt Damon in Oceans, I think he could have done it. He's never really done anything like this. And I would have liked to see him try, and he didn't get to do it. But
That's not who I thought you were going to say.
who are you thinking?
I'm
I
thinking
think
John.
Hawk is a slam dunk.
I think John C. Riley would have killed this role
John C. Riley. Okay,
because
I
he
can see
fits.
that.
He fits the
Maybe.
the. I don't look like a movie. I don't look like a movie star like Ethan Hawke. He can be silly. He's versatile in terms of the way he can be, like what is it, 2001, 2002, where he's in like three different films and he's playing three different kinds of performances. And I don't know. I think Riley could have done really well up, and he's tall, but he's kind of goofy looking. He's got the curly hair. Like if you're gonna sub out Jack Black, I think a John C. Riley would have probably been the right move. So,
I
and he
think
could.
Hawk's the way to go.
I don't
Hawk,
think Hawk is silly enough for that role.
I think he can be.
I think Hawk would have come off as pretentious. Like,
Mhm.
like I love
Mhm.
Hawk in the way he's
Yep.
like, like how he's in like Boyhood and he's like telling you like the things of your life and all that stuff to Mason in that movie.
He's doing like the Natalie Portman. This record's going to change your life.
Exactly.
He's giving you the American Psycho speech.
Yeah, exactly. And you're just like, oh, buddy, like she doesn't need that. You know what I mean? She doesn't need Jesse. She's not Celine. You know what I mean? Like she needs a goofy dude who's got a heart of gold. And I think that's John C. Riley. If it's not Jack Black.
I,
I
I
think
could see John C. Riley doing it,
see, I'm better at this game than you, Jay.
but I
As long
wouldn't
as we
change
just agree that it
anything.
shouldn't have been Jack Black.
No,
No,
I don't think I
agree
don't
with
think
that.
Jack Black's a bad choice.
I think Jack Black is the best choice.
I think that also Riley fits the mold of what she's looking for, which she was clearly looking for kind of a guy with versatility in terms of comedy and drama. And if I'd take Jack Black over Jimmy Fallon, who auditioned for this role, but I
Well,
would elevate it with John C. Riley, who is great in everything he does. There's never, unless you're that Holmes and Watson movie that he did a couple years ago, but still, like John C. Riley would probably be my alternative. But I keep Black. Yeah, I'm sorry.
you can have him.
Well, we did. He's in this movie. So
Or
he
no,
got
you
to
know
work.
what? You know the answer honestly is
Who?
that I forgot. I said this last night. This is the obvious answer.
Okay.
It's Rudd.
Oh, Rudd.
Mm,
Rudd is a good answer.
It's Rudd. I was scrambling to figure out who I would
Maybe like
said last
older.
night, and
Maybe like
it's-
older Rudd. Like now.
No, I think
Rudd-
like Friends Rudd,
Friends Rudd. Oh, okay.
which is kind of where he is now.
Yeah,
At this
yeah.
point.
Well, he's still the same age. He still looks the same.
Well, yeah.
Paul Rudd
But
never.
But when this came out, he was
he was
well,
like
Friends had just ended.
He's
Yeah.
basically the exact same age as Jack Black. I
and
think.
it's essentially the same character. He's like a film composer or like a musician in the show, in Friends, if I'm not mistaken.
But think about
Mhm.
He plays
I think
keyboards.
about and the Jack Black thing is charming when his character is like pathetic in
Yeah.
School of Rock when he's doing then Paul Rudd can do the exact same thing in something like I Love You Man where he's doing like you slap a da bass man. And that is funny.
Okay, well, first of all, Old
and
School is the
charming.
reason she wanted him for this movie.
Oh, you mean
There's
school?
that.
You mean School of
Sorry,
Rock?
School of Rock. Yes, School of Rock is the why she wanted Jack Black for the holiday.
And that is the misread of the character, in my opinion, is that
I
is funny because he's
disagree.
pathetic.
See, and I
But
disagree.
he's
and I think
pathetic in this
part
too.
Of why
No,
he's
he's not.
old, and I think another reason he is better even than Paul Rudd, who I do think I agree. I think Paul Rudd, John C. Reilly, I think those are people who could have played this role, but I think still part of why Jack Black works is because he is like, and I mean John C. Reilly would be more in this too. Paul Rudd has played a leading man, and he is, charming and cute and all that, and Jack Black is not your traditionally handsome man, and that's part of why it works, because he's not, and he doesn't carry that with him.
But also, there's like the thing about him too, where he is chasing after this girl who is she's way out of his league.
Well, he had already been dating
And he
the
already-
other girl, though.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
dating
So
her.
it's
She was
like-
cheating
No, I'm
on
not
him.
talking about Iris. I'm talking about that girl.
No, I know,
Maggie,
but
yeah.
it's like, okay, we understand that he can do this. It's not like he's single when they meet, and it's like, I can't figure out how to fall in love. It's like,
No,
I'm going
but
from this beautiful actress to
Yeah, but it seems like that girl that he's with is also. She doesn't seem like she's really.
She's with him because he's with her. Like
Yeah.
he's the guy that
Yeah.
is available to her to just keep running
By
back to.
convenience.
He'll put up with her coming back and forth for a while because he
What's his other
considers himself
option?
lucky to have a girl
yeah.
like
In
her.
theory, she's out of his league, and he
Yeah.
recognizes that. I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like it's
That's fair.
It's shallow
I
hell.
still think it should have been Rudd. I mean, at this point, Rudd is doing he's coming off of Friends, where in Friends he is presented as he dates Phoebe. What a weird, kooky guy.
I don't know. I mean, he's not really kooky in that
That
show.
is how he is presented in that
Yeah.
show. Is he's like the
But
real
he's the straight
chill,
man to
mellow.
her crazy.
No, yeah, he's just straight man. He's like a regular person.
He's like chill, mellow, willing to.
He's kind of like he comes
lean
from
into that
wealth,
stuff a
but
little
doesn't want, like, his family is really rich, but like he doesn't want to be a part of them. I know way too much about Friends. I've seen that show.
Rudd.
Seen that show way too.
It's my wife's favorite show.
It was.
I
Oh, is it
still love
really?
it.
Yeah.
It was during the pandemic. It was a great show to have on in the background when I started working at home, because it's just noise. Like, I'm not saying that as a negative. I was just like, I've seen this millions of times. Like,
It is a great show to have on
in the background
around.
Yeah. That, and like, because you want to know why? Because if you've seen one, you've seen them all, and it's not a bad thing. But it's just like, when your episodes
You'll
are
look
like,
over. It's like that was kind of funny.
there's a joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're getting in some hijinks. Yeah, exactly. It's not like, my favorite comedy of all time, but, not one I have to like razor focus in on to understand every joke, but, it gets
Could
the job
I be any more right about this casting?
done. Did you have casting for Iris or for Graham, or were you
No,
keeping?
they can stay.
Oh, they can.
I mean,
oh, you're
Jude
just.
Law absolutely has to stay. Yeah, no, I'm not recasting everything.
I was about to say, if
Winslet's great. Winslet's just utility player, like anything. She can do anything.
Winslet is one of the great actresses of her generation. She's
Yeah.
great.
Mhm.
She's in
And-
Titanic.
Well, she's not good in that, but
Oh,
How
stop
dare
it.
you?
what?
But yeah, I love
I don't
her
think
in
she's
this
good at-
because, well, you're incorrect. But anyway, what I love that she does really sell it. Like, you can believe her as someone who has this, this unrequited situation. You can believe her that she'd be hung up on someone and holding on to hope that he would turn around and love her back. And you can buy it when she stands up to him and finally has that moment where she's willing to or ready to take ownership of her life, and she's ready to step up and be the lead. You buy her at every stage of where Iris is at in her
Agreed.
journey.
And that's how I feel about Jude Law as well. I think those two are really the ones who I'm like, I have a real attachment to these characters. I want these characters to be incredibly happy for the rest of their lives. And then to me, maybe the funniest moment in the whole movie is when she's going back and forth with Diaz and Jude Law on the phone. Yeah, so funny. And she sells that as like a true thing within the universe so well. She's
classic Nancy right there. Classic,
acting.
Yeah, classic screwball comedy right there.
Yeah, that's such a fun throwback to things like, Party Line and those 40s screwball movies.
I gotta ask you guys something very important because I need to know if this is a real thing or not. It was something that it came up in the rewatch of the film. And so it's Christmas Eve and Iris and Miles are like gonna have they're gonna like, our lives are shitty, whatever, let's do it to this, celebrate this night together. And they sit there and they make fettuccine Alfredo, right, for each other. Supposedly.
One of the great fake outs when Cameron Diaz is actually the one eating.
So
pasta.
yeah. So that's my question is, and then Diaz is sitting there. She's got a whole bowl of fettuccine Alfredo. My question is this a thing? Like, it's just like a tradition for people? Like, are they making fettuccine Alfredo?
Had a fettuccine Eve?
No, I've never. No, I'm like being for real. Like, I was like, is this a thing? Like, because it's crossing continents in this movie, So I'm
we either do lasagna or tacos for Christmas Eve, but
lasagna tacos.
No, not
lasagna
both
or
together.
tacos.
Lasagna taco. Well, isn't technically enchiladas a form of lasagna? And you can
lasagna taco.
You can do an enchilada casserole, and that's basically lasagna, only with Mexican food. Yeah, we do lasagna as well. Yeah.
I mean, I think that is probably supposed to speak to their similarities as people in that moment.
Do you like an Alfredo, Jay?
I like an Alfredo. I like a Fredo.
Yeah. What about you, Karen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Although you kind of occasionally, though, you can call me a Pacino because if I'm not in the mood, I'll put down a Fredo.
Okay, I see what you did there. Well, it is
take it out on a boat and put it out of its misery.
Wait, you're just on a boat with a bowl of pasta?
Yeah, me and Fredo.
I wanted to extend your metaphor out to the actual visuals.
If it betrays me, if it makes my tummy hurt,
yeah,
taking that thing out on a boat, a little John boat.
You can sleep with the fishes.
Yep.
Do as Jack Black would do. It is the 50th anniversary of that this year. So oh my God. Do you guys have any? I will
say one of my coolest concert moments ever was when I saw Guns N' Roses a couple of years ago, and Slash did The Godfather on the guitar. It was so amazing. It was very cool.
Guys, we've come to that point of the show where we have to talk about actually the most important character in the
Mr. Napkin Head.
We have to talk about Mr. Napkin Head in detail. Is this is the legacy of this movie, isn't it? It is this, and for me at least, this is the legacy of this movie. Why?
The legacy of this movie is the movie for a lot. This movie is beloved.
This movie is beloved, but for me, when this moment hits, this is movie magic. This is Nancy at her core. This innocent, beautiful, sweet, ridiculously silly moment that absolutely works.
He is daddy.
And just he is daddy. This whole sequence is incredible.
That is 15 great minutes of movie.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It was very Parent Trap vibey a little bit when the girls kind of show up one after another. She pieces it together that it's not a bunch of other girls that he's
Oh,
with.
when she thinks he's married, that's
Do you
good.
think do the
Yeah.
girls have like a cell phone unlimited plan at this time? Because like they
Eh,
both seems like they have cell phones and different
they
numbers,
have
or are they just
family plan.
who are they with? That's the thing.
Their
He spent
grandparents.
Yeah, his mom.
He
Oh,
talks
okay.
about that. He talks about
Yeah.
that. Well, I think it's his parents, but also his wife's parents. They
Yes.
spend
Okay.
Yes,
time
you're
with
right.
with
Yeah.
their
We
grandparents.
never see them though.
Hmm.
No,
We
No,
should
we
saw
don't.
them.
They should have been played by
Jack and Nancy.
Diane Keaton.
Yeah, and Diane Keaton. Come
Diane
here.
Keaton doing a British accent?
Oh, you want to hear Jack do one?
Oh,
Come
what if it
here.
was
Pop Pop's
connected?
here. Yeah.
What if it was connected to the Something's Gotta Give universe, and that was the baby from the end of Something's Gotta Give grown up with
I
Jude Law?
taught Jude everything he needs to know. I'm the original Mr. Napkin Head. Yes. Could you imagine Jack doing
I'm gonna
Mr.
say
Napkin
that
Head?
actually wasn't bad, Ryan. I will.
No, he's got a good Jack.
You're
Yeah, that
welcome.
wasn't
I
bad.
can do Pacino a little too.
You're good, Pacino.
Hoo-ah!
Everybody's got a Pacino though. Everybody's got a
I do Son of a Woman very
Son of
easily.
a Woman Pacino.
Yeah. What does it mean to be a bad man? Yeah.
It's good. Ryan's pretty
Yeah.
good at those. I'm not good at those.
No, me neither.
I can do him in Heat too. I can do the line in Heat. Everybody knows it. I'm not gonna do it.
Don't be crass. Come on.
No, I can't do. No, it's the holiday show. I can talk about a great ass.
Don't do it.
And you got your head all the way in there.
Yeah. Anyway, Mr. Napkin Head is great. I want to know the origins. We need an oral history of Mr.
Yeah, I bet it's super sad.
I-
Like, I bet it's super sad.
Oh,
He
you mean like
probably-
the actual origins of Napkin Head in
I'm
the
not-
universe of the
I
film?
thought
think
it
you were.
was-
I think you were being a joker, but like I think it's probably something he created.
No, I actually want like an oral history of the Hollywood creation of Mr. Napkin Head. I want to know whose idea it was.
It's Nancy's.
You think so? Might have been Jude's.
No,
well,
I think that's straight up
according
Nancy.
to Jude Law,
Okay.
this is an IndieWire, just a recent
Oh, here we go.
article.
See, I did my research.
He said, I'd actually done Mr. Napkin Head before. I did Alfie with Charles Shire, who had been married to Nancy Meyers, and Charles included Mr. Napkin Head in Alfie, but the scene got cut. And then I did Nancy's film, and Mr. Napkin Head was in that.
So after Shire stole from Nancy for so many years, Nancy finally got one on him.
you
Yeah,
go.
it's like, and then it's like, it's mine now, ass. You know what I mean? No, but I think like in the context of the story, if you want to reconstitute it, I think he created this hilarious bit, maybe post.
I think he just did. I think he's done it for a while, and they like
think-
Mr. Napkin Head. I think that's the long and short of it.
I think there might be.
You think he did this at the funeral for the first time? That's the origin of
No,
Mr.
I
Napkin
think
Head?
I think that he probably on a night afterwards, after a couple months after his wife passed, I think he did this to get the girls
You're trying to give
laugh.
it this superhero origin story.
No, I think that's, and it's something that is now a good memory that they have of the three of them together, that they laughed, and it's something that they would want, because it wouldn't be a memory that I think that they
And I'll say this:
before when their
don't-
mom was alive.
don't pop your shoulder out of your socket reaching that far, man. Be careful.
I know Nancy, she would probably have put something, it's like a line of dialogue that she probably just cut out of the film, but yeah, I kind of feel that feels sincere enough to say like he created that for those girls because he loves them, because they're the three musketeers. And so, yeah, and it's awesome. And he kind of like, oh, I don't want to, he like begrudgingly does it, but then when he does it, it's not even that the glasses and the napkin on the face, it's then the talking with it too that makes it.
Oh yeah.
It's the little, like, it's, it's like these,
Smoking a spoon like a cigar.
yes, it's like it's the Invisible Man bit, like, and it's so good. Oh,
It's so good. How embarrassed he is to do all that stuff in front of Amanda is so adorable.
is it Jude
It's
Law's
so
best?
cute, yeah.
Is it the best thing Jude Law's ever done, Mr. Matt?
I mean, Secrets of Dumbledore.
Oh yeah,
Obviously.
we had to know. Whoa, Jay, what was the secret again?
Never saw it. Gotta say, never.
Karen,
never
did
saw
you
it.
watch it?
I did watch it and I couldn't tell you what the
I know
secret
what the
was.
secret is.
Well, I know what the secret should have been, but they cut it out of the movie.
Well, wait, what was the secret should have been?
Well, that he had a relationship with Grindelwald.
Well, I mean,
Like a
that's kind of like
relationship.
like they kissed.
Oh yeah. Those boys made out.
Also,
You
gotta
know what?
say, I know originally, God, that would have been so weird if they would have kept Johnny Depp. It would have been really weird for
Yeah.
that film because Mads Mikkelsen, honestly, is really good
Yeah, it should
in
have
that
been him
role.
from the beginning.
Yeah.
As far as great Jude Law performances, I would like to nominate Spy.
Oh, he's great in
I was
Spy.
great at Spy. How about
Mhm.
The Nest?
I was also gonna say that one. Mhm.
Talented Miss Ripley.
Ripley. Yeah.
Ripley's great. Um,
Closer.
yeah,
He's great and Closer. Everybody's great and Closer. He's a good guy. I love Law. Anytime he's in something nowadays, he's become one of those just actors you put in anything. It's
he's great in
probably
Gattaca too. I just watched that again recently.
yeah. Is that good?
Hawk.
Oh, it's so good. It's Hawk and Law, yeah.
Never seen it.
Oh man, you gotta watch it. It's
I'll put
really
it.
good.
Uma too, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put it on the list. Maybe I'll watch it on Christmas Eve
There you
with
go.
a bowl of fettuccine Alfredo.
Oh, he's great in
Do it.
AI.
Do it.
Oh, in AI? Yeah, he
Yeah.
is
Great
good
in
in
AI.
AI. Yeah.
Hmm.
He's a
I
good
forgot he was in Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil.
that Clint?
Hmm?
Is it Clint? Who directed that one?
Oh, maybe he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He plays the garden.
Who Clint?
No, Jude.
Oh, okay. No, well, I mean Clint would. This is the number one film that does pop up when you Google Jude Law.
Interesting.
This is his.
I'm not surprised. I would say it's his hottest movie.
Like he's the hottest in it.
Yes.
Mm.
Every actor has one movie where they are their absolute peak hotness, and I think for him it's this one.
It's not
Oh.
on. It's not his IMDb 4 though.
That's interesting. What is that? Sherlock Holmes?
Nope. It's actually a really interesting 4.
Hmm.
It's the Talented Mr. Ripley, Closer, like I mentioned, The Grand Budapest Hotel,
Hmm.
and Sky Captain in the World
Oh,
of Tomorrow.
God, I forget he's in Grand Budapest.
Huh.
He's good. in
No,
it.
he's great in Grand
Sky
Budapest.
Captain in the World of Tomorrow is in his 4.
Interesting.
Hell yeah.
You know what he's good in? And I'm the only one in the world.
Oh,
who
The
thinks this.
Nest. Oh,
Yeah,
you
I
said
You
The
heard
said
Nest.
that. Jay said
That's-
that. Yeah.
It's a great.
King Arthur, Legend of the Sword.
Oh,
Good in
Never
that.
saw it.
You're a
He
big
is
Richie
good
guy.
in that. I'm a King Arthur, Legend of the Sword defender.
Nah, you like Richie, brother.
I like a lot of Richie. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Richie. I mean, I'm a
You know what?
I'm a 90s boy.
I'm gonna admit I enjoy Sherlock Holmes. I was just talking to my
Those are
friend
good.
about this earlier today. I enjoy those. I really like him as Watson. I think he's a lot of fun.
That was the first movie I ever
Agreed.
saw with my wife, and those movies hold a very special place in my heart. I think he's also wonderful in Contagion because he plays like the
Good movie.
conspiracy theorist, and he is terrifyingly good in that movie.
I'm willing to call this peak hotness. I'm good with that.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Oh, he's also great as
He is
like
daddy.
in a bit Errol Flynn performance in The Aviator. He looks great in that too. Kind of was like, man, can I get the whole movie of that, please? And he's terrifying in Road to Perdition. He's wonderful in that too. So
I do like that he's kind of leaned into aging a little bit too. Like he hasn't tried to,
he's letting the hair go a little bit.
yeah, his hairline, you could tell even in this movie, you're like, that's getting,
Yeah, buddy.
I see that thing
Ain't gonna be
eroding.
there. Yeah, for
but
sure. No, he's got a
he's
great
kind of
voice,
just run with it.
but he's got a great voice, and he's just beautiful in this movie. It fits perfectly, obviously, with Diaz too. Like they're both. You're like, yeah, I would like to watch two beautiful people fall in love. Thank you very much, Nancy. But
Well,
they're
especially when there's this like tragedy to him too, and that just makes him hotter.
yeah, and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
also he's not. They're not trying to be. He's just a broken man, and he needs fixing.
He's just trying.
Yeah, he's just
You know?
trying.
But that's the point
And
is
he's
he's
daddy.
trying. He's
He's daddy.
broken,
Yeah.
but he's not just like, well,
Exactly.
my life is ruined. I'm just gonna be an
He's got
asshole.
other
He's
people
still
to
a
live
good
for.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He has a cow.
he
He's
just got
daddy.
he's got a cow in the backyard. Yeah, he is.
He's got a
He
nice
learned
house
to
for a
sew
book
buttons.
editor.
Well, yeah, book editors make good money.
Maybe in 2006.
I mean, who knows what his wife did too,
That's
or how much
true.
money she
Yeah.
Life
lost.
insurance policy.
Mm.
Oh,
Do we
now
know
you're.
how she died?
Whoa, Karen.
Insurance fraud.
I think Jack Black helped out on that
Oh,
one. Oh
this
my
could be a
god.
little bit of a Fargo
Oh
situation.
my god. Oh my god. He just got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
He did.
Jude?
Yeah.
Wow.
About damn time. How did he not have that already?
Because you got to pay for it.
Oh, it's probably
Well,
because he had to
somebody
keep
has to pay for it. Yeah.
he had to keep those secrets. Secrets of Dumbledore.
Dumbledore's biggest secret used to not have a star in the Walk of Fame.
Imagine if a character like Dumbledore had a Walk of Fame star before fucking Jude Law. That would be crazy.
I just thought it was really funny. I was gonna mention this, but then it just never really worked itself into the conversation until just now. But
Yeah.
right when we were about to start recording, I opened my Instagram, and the first post on my feed was Nancy Meyers posting a video of Jude Law and congratulating him.
Well, that's
for his
because,
star.
well, Karen, I don't know, but the NSA do listen to all conversations, including
Obviously.
every episode of Director Watch
Of
that
course
is
they do.
currently being
No,
recorded.
especially.
Yeah.
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 Have y'all seen The Order?
Not yet.
I have.
I'm looking forward to that one.
I've heard
I
it's
have-
very good.
I've seen The Order.
Kurzel, talented.
Oh, that guy, I'm so mixed on him. You know this, Jay. We've gone on the Kurtzel run
I
before.
think Macbeth is good. I like Nitram.
I like Nitram. I didn't like the one movie.
Wasn't
with-
crazy about the Kelly gang. That
No, I
one.
wasn't crazy about that one though.
Oh,
Nick,
I'm an Assassin's Creed defender. I'll tell
you're
you that
like-
much right
I bet
now.
you. I bet you are. The Macbeth movie is interesting. I don't know. Like visually speaking, he's an interesting director. I just think his narratives ring hollow. The Order is,
Oh, he's a stylist above
yeah,
everything
yeah,
else.
but you know,
You know I love a little style.
yeah, I know you do, but there's got to be a little bit more there, buddy, than just that.
Call me Zach Braff because I'm all about going in style.
Oh, for God's sakes. I have seen The Order though. I think the movie narratively is all over the place, but Law again, great performance. Absolutely the reason to watch that movie. He's just it's
We
just
love
something just something
See,
about
but
him.
yeah,
I have to issue a correction on the Mr. Napkin Head story.
Oh no.
Okay.
Ooh, according to Nancy herself on
Oh.
Instagram on October 31st, she copied that headline and
Wow.
posted it and said, "Actually, it was originally at our kitchen table. My ex-husband used to do this for our kids. Seems he cut it from his movie, but I had no idea. Write what you know."
Wow.
So it was Nancy's all along. There is a backstory. Shut up, Jay. She totally would have made it a more tragic backstory. That's exactly who Nancy Myers is.
I
She
don't-
would
I-
never.
I-
she
I
would
don't
never lift
understand why-
something.
Again,
He would
you're-
never
you're-
lift
you're-
something.
You're reaching once again, but
He would never lift. It's all original.
I liked the idea of lifting it as revenge. I thought that was compelling.
Nancy's never petty
Uh,
like that. What are you talking about? It's a
They
When has
just
she ever
both
been
wanted
petty?
to use it in their movies, and she won.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
yeah, because
good.
she's the more talented, better person than
That is for sure.
yeah, easily.
No, you seen Alfie?
God damn it! No, well, yes, I have seen Alfie. and
I
it's,
have not.
it's the lesser of the Alfies.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's true.
The original's like it's not much better, but it's like
Yeah.
it's just a concept that it's like basically
What's that movie about? Alfie?
yeah. What's it all about? Alfie. Anyway, anything else? That was a reference to the song from the movie.
Sure.
Jay from the original.
Remember Alf?
Anything else you guys?
I'm shocked they
What's
haven't
happening
like
right now?
made Alf like an Alf movie,
Oh, you mean like
an
Seth
ironic
MacFarlane-
Alf movie.
They're like
yeah,
they
something.
did it. It's called Ted. They
Well,
pretty much made that. That's
kind
pretty
of.
much what it is.
Ted was not an alien who ate cats.
Yeah,
That's fair.
like a 21 Jump Street style Alf movie.
Oh, do you want that?
I would watch it. I
Yeah,
would
I'd watch that in a
absolutely watch
second.
that.
Okay.
But the problem would be
Oh.
they'd make him CGI.
What if it was a Howard the
Yeah.
Duck style Elf movie?
Oh,
Count me in. Falls in love with Sydney Sweeney.
oh my God! Stop. Yes, a bitch. Oh my God! Anything else about the holiday we want to talk about today, guys?
It's a perfect movie and I love it. Although I've never, ever in my life, and I've lived in California for most of it, I've never heard anybody say that all bets are off when the Santa Ana winds blow.
That is a big theme in the film.
Karen-
It's the wind.
Yeah, the wind. Yeah,
It's
like,
about the
Well,
wind.
that happens. I mean, we were in a wind alert earlier this week.
do you get
So,
stuff in your eye?
all bets
Have you
were
gotten stuff
off.
in your eye?
all the time.
All
I
the
have stuff
time?
in my eye right now.
It's like this wind's.
You can't go around a corner during that without seeing somebody falling in love.
Yeah. Well, I love
The
also
ultimate
too.
aphrodisiac.
I love the scene though, where like Iris knows all the people that work at the house, and it's basically it's like it's big. It literally does become her house by
Mhm.
the end of it. I just wanted to watch her. I wanted to watch more movies with Iris and know the list of movies that Eli Wallach gave her. But we didn't talk enough about Eli Wallach in
Yeah, I was
that
just
whole
about to say
sequence.
that. He's
Yeah.
great.
He's so
charming.
great in this, so charming. I mean, the whole subplot of just like getting him, physically able to walk those steps, and when he gets to those steps, he kind of just shoves everybody off, and he just walks up those stairs so proudly. I was like, look at
That whole storyline plotline is also such like Nancy Meyers movie magic, and Kate Winslet sells it too, because there's
Yes.
no way that this event would be organized that quickly and that they could prepare him for it to be able to do that
And they
quickly.
walk
and
in
yet
right
don't
as they're
care.
announcing it. Yeah.
Well, the other thing that makes that the whole thing too is like the WGA. If they wanted to make it happen, they would have already made it happen, and they would have done it without him.
And
Like,
they
they would-
also nothing happens in this industry between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, it's
The
like nobody
entire
does it.
town's
It's shut down already
Nancy,
right
no
now.
events.
You know better.
She
Nancy.
knows better.
Come on.
That's probably when they filmed it and when they were able to get the building.
But I love the scenes with like the poker night or the game night with his friends, and then
Mhm.
his buddies show up at the event. Ah, it's
That is
so
when Jack
cool.
Black shines, is when he's with the old men.
Yeah,
Yep.
He is very good. in
he's
that
like,
scene.
I'm gonna play pinochle with him next week. Ah, that's so cool. It's just
Well, and just how much Miles appreciates who those people are and what their story, like why their
Yes.
stories are important. Because
Yeah.
you drop someone in who's not in the industry, or at least doesn't care about the history of the industry like he does, and it just is. It doesn't sing the way that it does with him.
and he was
Agreed. Good
Nancy said that he was
observation.
so animated and energetic Wallach in making the film that like she like had to at times telling him like slow down or speed up or whatever, and they had to. But she said he was so charming, and it's perfect casting, and he's so
I
great
have
with.
heard that so many times about Jack Black specifically, that people love working with him and that he
I
is
was talking
really
about
a joy
Wallach.
to have on. Oh, sorry, Wallach.
But
I'm
I've
talking
heard that
Jack Black,
about
so.
Jack
Yeah,
Black
I've
too.
heard Jack
He's
Black is great.
People
Yeah.
love working with him.
he's
That's
a
why
really
he's
nice
in
guy.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
He
yeah,
is in
Eli
everything.
Wallach. Oh,
He's in the Santa
Such a
Satan
treasure.
movie this year.
mhm.
He's in Borderlands.
Yeah. Did you watch that?
Remember Borderlands? No, I'm waiting.
Your father,
Saving that. I need to light candles and
you and the father-in-law are going to totally watch
open
that
a bottle of wine.
Because Karen, we've told you. Have you know the story that Jay's father-in-law watches like literally all the
He buys all the garbage that I
He
would
buy-
probably not watch by
and
myself.
Jay,
no.
and so like when Jay's over at his in-laws, he ends up watching
I watched
like
the Zack Snyder movie. What is that one
movies.
called?
the Rebel Moon.
Rebel Moon.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Or
what I
like
watched.
the-
Rebel Moon.
Yeah,
Does he
know.
hate you?
Violent Night.
No, he just likes it. It's just like mindless action movies.
Yeah.
You know
And then
what I
I'm
mean?
like, oh yeah, I saw this movie.
That sounds like torture.
Well, I mean, he's not paying for it. He's just bonding with his in-laws. Could be a
Yeah.
lot worse.
I'll watch a movie.
What's
Throw
a
on
worst
movie? I'll watch a movie.
What's a worst activity you could do with your in-law? Like-
Conversation.
Exactly.
Of
So there,
course.
and what don't you do during a movie? You don't talk. So there you go, and it worked out.
Okay, well, I can see that.
I
anything
rest my case.
anything else, guys?
No.
No.
This movie is perfect, and
I wish I
love
loved it.
Do you?
it. I might watch it again tonight.
Good, Karen.
It's a fun movie to talk about. I will say that. It is a very fun movie to talk about.
My wife did make an observation when at the end. It's a pet peeve of hers when Amanda goes and runs after, and she's in the heels, and she says, "One, she's wearing heels to the fucking airport. Who does that? That's a psychopath move."
Oh, my wife was talking about Cameron Diaz running in the snow in heels.
And then she's like, she will literally break her ankle in the snow running in heels.
No, don't let her
Yeah.
watch
It's true
Jurassic
she
World.
would.
Yeah.
However, what I will say is that it is a bookend to how she first arrives, where she can't walk in the snow. And now, after this experience that she's been through, and now that she's found the love of her life, she's not only walking through the snow, she's running.
Yeah. Well, the one thing
Karen,
my wife was
I agree.
observed was, how come the driver can get all the way there now? And I was kind of like,
He was just being an asshole the first time.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was
He
being
just
a
didn't want to
big
take her.
old. He didn't want to go down there, and then and he's like, "Oh, it's a little speed bump," and it's like, dude, you were just driving it perfectly fine. Like he
Mhm.
could have taken her all the way there. He's no tip for that guy
Right? Seriously.
whatsoever. But also, I agree with you, Karen. I was trying to explain it, but again, it's my wife. I'm not going to argue.
metaphor, man.
It's a
Come on.
metaphor. It's a metaphor.
Exactly.
Jay,
yeah.
before we get out of here, we're going to test your award season knowledge based on the film we just reviewed, which is The Holiday, in a segment we like to call "It's an Honor to Get Nominated." Now, Jay, you've been a little harsh on this movie today.
Yeah, harsher than y'all for sure.
No, well, it seems like you've been.
I've
Harsh.
got problems with it.
I know. You need to stop having problems with things and just embrace your inner Nancy.
You know what? You're
Anyway.
right. I have no problems with this movie anymore. You
you
convinced
go.
me.
There you go, buddy. Was this movie nominated, Jay, for any Academy Awards?
So I remember in the moment this movie not getting much acclaim.
Uh-huh.
It feels entirely set up for Wallach to get a supporting actor nomination,
Uh-huh.
but I'm fairly confident it didn't. And if it didn't get that, I don't think it got anything. So
J-Dog,
I'm going to say 0.
absolutely right. It didn't get any.
Yeah,
support.
interesting.
Yeah. It was nominated for some Teen Choice Awards.
Oh, Wallach? The kids love Wallach.
No, Cameron Diaz was nominated, buddy.
Well,
For what, Ryan?
She was nominated for
This goes to
choice
Jay's
movie,
point.
Hissy Fit.
oh,
This movie was not well received when it came out in
And it was
2006.
nominated for
several years. I was the only person that I knew that liked it, and I was
No.
telling everybody I knew to watch it, and eventually it worked.
who won Hissy Fit?
I'm looking it up. Just give me a moment. Talk amongst yourselves while I pull this up.
I mean, 2006. There's so many options.
It was the film that won Choice Flick, won Choice Movie, Teen Choice Award movie for Best Chick Flick, which is also
Chick
just
flick.
which is a terrible title.
Bring
Just
that
call
back.
it-
Make it an Oscar.
Just call it romantic comedy, you fucking assholes. It was The Holiday. It beat Georgia Rule. It beat the last. I think. Jay, did you bring up Georgia Rule recently or something?
No, that
Okay.
was I can't remember.
I can't
That was
remember.
just this last week.
Yeah, when we were
Wasn't it?
like on the main show or something.
We were talking about Lohan.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Something. I don't know.
Something. The Last Kiss. Let's talk about Zach Braff. License to Wed. And Music and Lyrics.
These are all such memorable movies. This is for Hissy Fit of the year.
No, that was for Chick Flick.
Oh,
of
this
the
is
year.
for Chick Flick.
I
of the
got
year.
Hissy Fit for you.
Thank God.
All right. So the nominees for Hissy Fit are Daniel Radcliffe in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix.
Just throwing a fit.
Jessica Alba.
I mean, yeah.
Jessica Alba in Fantastic Four: The Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Don't remember her throwing a hissy fit specifically in that one, but I believe it.
Will Ferrell for Blades of Glory.
Oh, he throws a fit in that one. That's for
It
sure.
sure does.
He's hissing a lot. I don't know about fits.
He's got some good fits in that one.
Steve Carell and Evan Almighty.
I gotta say, never saw it.
Cameron Diaz obviously in The Holiday, and Ryan Seacrest in Knocked Up.
Knocked up.
I have to say, I'm a little offended that Cameron Diaz is included in this list because she has some valid concerns.
I think of all the characters in that are nominated, you're correct.
I think it's a
Correct,
very delicate classification of her internal strife.
I need to know the
Hissy fit.
rule. I need to know the rules of this fucking
I would like,
category.
I would like to know, is this for a particular scene or for multiple scenes? Because if this is in reference
What's the
to her
clip?
breakup scene, like, screw that.
Is it also, but is it in relation to her not knowing how to cry? Because if that's the case, that's even more fucked up for nominating.
Well, that's
her.
almost like that's not a fit. That's not a hissy fit. That's a permanent emotional,
Yeah, I know.
Scar.
It's
Yeah.
it's an emotional scar, which if you're trying to make fun of that by nominating that is, gotta say, it's a pretty dick move.
Give it to
Yep.
Carell.
Give it to
I bet he threw a heck of a fit.
This was also nominated at the MTV Movie Awards. What do you think Jay was nominated?
Man, we're digging deep here. Kiss.
Hell yeah, brother. It was nominated for Best Kiss, which, by the way,
It's a great kiss.
is a great kiss. Would you guys like to know the nominees for Best Kiss?
Of course.
Absolutely.
So the nominees were Columbus Bus and Megan Good for Stomp the Yard,
They were stomping.
Marlon Wayans and Brittany Daniels for Little Man.
Hell yeah.
Jay, you remember Little Man?
Yeah, Little Man, like a totally normal movie.
Karen, do you remember Little Man?
Unfortunately.
Did you see Little Man in the theaters?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Probably not in the theater. I think I had a friend that made me watch it.
It's the other movie Karen watches during the holidays, Little Man. Karen's like, shut up.
It's one of the movies on my list of movies I will have erased from my memory if they ever do invent the machine thing.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Little
What are the other films? Do you have like a couple?
Escape from Tomorrow, is that what it's called? The Disney World movie.
Oh,
The gorilla Disney movie.
Mhm. Yeah.
that's bad.
Yeah,
J-
that one's on.
JD, you have one or two?
No, I wear them all. I wear my my wounds proudly.
I think I'd erase Climax, the Gaspar Noé film, out of my existence. I don't need to remember that. Invincible, Mark Wahlberg and Elizabeth Banks, Jude Law and Cameron Diaz for The Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
But the winner, of course, was Will Ferrell and Sacha Baron Cohen for Talladega Nights: The Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
Hey.
And I
Ricky
believe, if
Bobby.
I'm not mistaken, they reenacted the kiss on stage.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's powerful.
it's powerful. Gets the people going.
There you go.
So that was the year 2007 Oscars, the films of 2006. That was the year The Departed, Babel, Letters from Iwo Jima, Little Miss Sunshine, and The Queen. Would we nominate The Holiday?
It's better than some of those movies.
It's better than some of those movies. Would you nominate The Holiday?
And I don't even like it that much.
Yeah, I mean, Karen, would you nominate this in any categories?
I love The Holiday, but probably not. Maybe
wouldn't-
score.
Give
Oh,
me
is that
supporting actor
supporting actor? And then I'll do
and score. Yeah.
Okay. Supporting actor, the winner was Alan Arkin for Little Miss Sunshine,
Jude Law's better.
Jackie Earle Haley for Little Children.
He's
Haven't seen
great
it.
in that.
You haven't seen Little Children?
I haven't seen it.
Little Children's great. It's Todd Field,
Yeah, I know
one of the
it is.
Fields. You
Is
gotta.
it,
I still struggle with the narration, but I think it's a good movie, and I think that Jackie Earle Haley is probably
that,
the best part.
is that a prequel to Little Man?
God damn it! You get a slow clap for that one. Good job, buddy.
I award you no points.
Karen's just gonna judge you. Jaimin Hansu for Blood Diamond.
Yeah. I mean, whatever.
Eddie Murphy for Dreamgirls.
He's good in that.
I like Eddie. I like Eddie in the movie. And Mark Wahlberg for The Departed.
I mean, that's a good performance.
That's a good performance. Wahlberg is great. Why wasn't Jack nominated? Jack should have been nominated for The Departed. I don't know how.
Or for Something's Gotta Give.
Well, that's a couple of years before, but
I know,
yes.
but I'm saying in general, what are we doing? Late
Yeah.
Jack not given the respect he deserved.
He really didn't. I never understood how Jack didn't get nominated. It feels like such a. And you know who else should have been nominated? And I'm going to say it. Well, obviously that movie, the only nomination it came with was Wahlberg. Damon's really good in
Damon's
The
really good.
Departed. I think, is Damon undervalued by people?
In general,
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people shit on Matt Damon, but he's like
do they?
pretty
I think
goddamn
Matt
good
Damon's
actor.
good. He's good in that Europe movie from a couple years ago. What was
Oh,
that one called?
Stillwater?
He's good in that.
He's
He's good in
yeah,
it.
he's
I like
good in it.
Terrible.
I like that movie.
I like that movie.
That's
He's
a good
good.
flick. Yeah.
I like it. I like him in The Last Duel because I like The Last Duel. I thought he was.
Stillwater.
I thought he was good in Oppenheimer.
He's very good in Oppenheimer.
I didn't understand how he didn't get nominated for Oppenheimer. Like it felt like one of those, like, you know how a front runner every year pulls two, and it felt like, you know,
He kind of felt it was just like enough.
yeah, I guess so.
That's plenty.
Yeah, 11 nominations or whatever the hell it got was enough. Yeah, I don't know if I throw Wallach in there, but I consider him.
Law.
I like him more than
Put him
Arkin.
in.
I'm not a big fan of Arkin.
In general, as a man.
Oh,
No, I like Arkin. I like Arkin as a man.
I think he's great in that one.
Yeah. I haven't seen Little Miss Sunshine in a long time.
He's good in it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Is it age better than I think it does? Like it's the one that doesn't age well that I watched a couple of years ago was Dreamgirls on the whole. Again, it's just not that good, but Eddie Murphy's really good in it. And
Little Miss Sunshine is like just so mid 2000s indie.
Yeah.
It's
I'll give it a shot though.
it's
The
time stamped.
You guys said score. Is that what you want me to look at here?
Yeah.
The scores. Best original score went to Babel.
Oh yeah, cut that one out. Replace it.
I listen to that every day.
Yeah. The Good German.
I actually like that movie more than most.
It's Soderbergh, right? Soda Pop.
Yeah, but I couldn't tell you anything about the music.
Notes on a Scandal.
Oh, that's a good score, actually.
That's a good score. It's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite Judi Dench performance.
Judi
Definitely
Dench.
up there for me. She's fantastic in that. She's so good.
Jay, have you seen
We
Notes on a
talked
Scandal?
about her. That I have seen. It's been a long time, and I don't remember very much.
Her
about
and
it.
Blanche-
Due for
her
a
and-
rewatch.
Her and Blanchett
Kate
are incredible.
Blanchett in that movie. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. Pan's
The
Labyrinth.
two of them. Oh yeah,
good,
that's great
good.
too.
Yeah,
And then the Queen. Disblah. It's a good score. It's a solid score. I would nominate Hans. I'd
put
take
him
out.
in there. Why not?
I'd kick out the Good German. It's Hans.
I
or-
remember
or-
nothing about
or-
the Good German.
I remember nothing about Babel. Nothing good.
I hated Babel. It was the worst.
I mean, the Good German is doing. They're going for like a Casablanca thing. It's kind of the whole.
Was this the same year as The Good Shepherd? 2006. Was that the same year? The Good Shepherd. Yes.
We're going
I love The Good Shepherd.
all
Did
over
you
the
have,
place here.
have you guys seen that movie? The Good Shepherd, the
haven't seen
De
it.
Niro film
Mm-mm.
he directed about
I'm
the
sure I
the-
saw it. I just can't remember anything.
Jay, you
about
should
it.
watch. Jay, you should watch it. I think you would love it. It's totally a movie. It's like and Damon's the lead. Angelina Jolie.
Oh
William,
yeah.
William
That's
Hurt.
a Christmas. That's about Joseph.
Yes. De Niro directed it. It's really good.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's
I
about
think you
the
like it.
beginnings of the CIA, right?
Yeah, it's like a fictionalized version of it.
Yeah.
But it's really good.
Yeah, I do. I don't remember it well, but I remember seeing it.
I was like that too, Karen, and then I watched it this year. I rewatched it because I was doing a bunch of like, I don't remember that. I hating that movie, and I had like, it was 2006. I was like, 14 years old at this point, and I was seeing everything in the theater, and I couldn't have remember any details about that movie except like one of the big twists at the end. And so I rewatched it, and I was like, wow, this is like really good, and De Niro's direction is incredible in it.
Eddie
But,
Redmayne and Lee Pace? What?
Yeah, like Lee Pace plays like the asshole that comes up into the CIA with him, and
Hmm.
Redmayne plays Damon and Jolie's son in the film.
Huh.
Yeah. Would you guys consider it for original screenplay? It's
I would not.
Little Miss Sunshine, Babel, Letters from Iwo Jima, Pan's Labyrinth, The Queen.
I mean,
With
again, this
that
is pretty.
lineup,
It's pretty
no.
bad.
Well,
Not
Babel
awesome
I
year.
could replace, but
Yeah, it's not the greatest year in the world. This is the year of this is also the year of Children of Men.
They're just ramping up for the next year.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, if we could go back to 2006 and redo the awards, I would give it to Pan's Labyrinth and that lineup. It's just,
ooh, like you would nominate Pan's Labyrinth?
it is nominated for original screenplay.
Let me look at '06 here.
I thought you meant like you would put Pan's Labyrinth in for picture.
Oh, I totally would.
Yeah. I put Children of Men in as well. I think both of those movies are great. But I love Pan's Labyrinth.
Deja Vu.
Oh, it's Deja Vu that year?
Oh yeah.
I consider Denzel for Deja Vu. Yeah, he's incredible in Deja Vu. He's better than Forrest Whitaker, who's a supporting actor in his own goddamn film that he won lead actor for. Sorry, I get mad at things like that.
They just wanted to have a king and a queen.
They really did. Yeah, but you know what? I'll tell you the person I would give the Oscar to out of that lineup is Gosling for Half Nelson. He's incredible in that film. But anyway, Karen,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on this show. I don't know
Thanks
why
for
you keep
having me.
I don't know why you keep doing it. You keep putting up with us guys over here.
I ask myself that all the time.
Same.
Karen, can you tell everybody where they can find you and all your work on the internet? Can you tell everybody what you're going to be watching during the holidays and give, doesn't have to be a holiday film if you don't want to, but you give everybody a recommendation out there for everybody to go and watch.
Oh gosh. Well, you can find my work at awardswatch.com.
Mhm.
And you can find links to all kinds of stuff if you follow me on Blue Sky or Instagram. I'm also on Letterboxd. You can find me everywhere at Karen M. Peterson. And one movie that I will definitely be watching this holiday season that also, I didn't mention it before, but is also in my rotation now is Carol from 2015.
I love that. I
It's
love
great.
that. And if you
Christmas Carol.
if you love Carol, go watch the film. It's a great film. And then go listen to our episode that we did with Kevin Jacobson on our first ever series.
That's true.
And
I
it's
will
a-
do
Cover
that.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was a good episode.
Really ramping up then.
Yeah.
We probably
Well,
knocked it out of the park.
I would go back and redo it.
No,
Like,
I bet we
didn't
killed it.
adjust it. No, Kevin was great. You were great, Jay. I was probably not that great. All right.
You said it, not me.
God damn it. You're supposed to take You're supposed to say no, buddy. You were good. Do the same thing, you jerk.
All right. Letterbox J Ledbetter, Twitter at Mr. J Ledbetter, Awards Watch for all other stuff. Movie recommendation. I mean, we already brought it up earlier, but I rewatched Muppet Christmas Carol. You know, I'm a fiend for some Muppets.
We love the Muppets around here. We're a Muppet
Love 'em.
podcast.
Got my Kermit hat mere feet away from me right now.
Yeah.
Going to the Center for Puppetry Arts soon. They've got a bunch of Muppet puppets there. It's in Atlanta, the Center for
Oh.
Puppetry Arts, a big puppet museum in Atlanta. But yeah, that I think is just a really brilliant adaptation of that story. It's so funny and metatextual in that very Muppety way. But Michael Caine playing that like he is in There Will Be Blood is really what makes that movie sing. He's taking it so seriously. It's so earnest, his performance. And the movie's just so much fun. It's very funny, honestly, genuinely touching at times. And the puppetry is just like technically so impressive. So check out A Muppet Christmas Carol.
One of the best out there. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd at Ryan McQuade 77. You can find out my work at awardswatch.com. The main show is released every Wednesday and Thursday. Look forward here coming up to our best of the year episode, where you're going to hear Karen and Jay, myself, and everybody else on the team's favorite film of the year. And iTunes, Spotify, 5-star reviews. We greatly appreciate it. Also, go to the website, Sign up for the newsletter. It's the best way to get all the stuff that's going on the website all in one place. Christmas recommendation. I mean, yeah, we talked about it earlier, but I'm just going to reiterate it. Watch It's a Wonderful Life. It's the best one. And then you watch It's a Wonderful Life, you get a good cry, then go watch John McClane kill all those assholes.
You got a Jimmy
in
Stewart?
Die Hard. No, I don't really have a Stewart. I really. Oh, you thought you were gonna get one out of me, didn't you?
I know.
Like Karen's like, ooh, that would be it. I guess no, no, that's not good. I'll come up one, and next time I'll do it.
All right,
okay?
work on it.
I'll work on it over the holiday. But that was more Katharine Hepburn.
It'd be perfect for our John Ford series. It's gonna last 3 years.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do Ford one of these days, I believe. A lot of westerns though. But yeah, that's going to do it for this week's episode. I hope everybody has a great holiday and had a great holiday.
I hope you all find love.
Yeah, hope you find love. Hopefully you find the Mr. Napkin Head in your life out there, right?
Or Mrs. Napkin Head.
Or Mrs. Napkin Head. Yeah, we don't judge around here. And I hope everybody gets everything that they want and around everybody they love this holiday season. We're going to be back next week. And speaking of Kevin Jacobson, he's going to be joining us next week, Jay, because Jay, I'll look around here, make sure nobody's around, but it's getting complicated next week.
It's getting a little complicated.
It's a little complicated. We're going to do It's Complicated next week here on the show. Thank you all so much for listening, and we'll see you all next time.